Now,
we have it behind us.
oh, it's gonna be, okay.
That's it. All right. Hi, everyone.
Okay.
All right. Hello, and welcome to the November 18th meeting of the NCAC. As a reminder, this meeting is being broadcast to the town's YouTube channel and also via Zoom, and is being recorded for publication, later viewing, and administrative purposes. All right. And on that note, let's get started. We're going to take roll. I am here. Kavita is here. Steve is here. Manya, not here. Jean, there she is.
See me?
From a distance.
All right. Liz is here. Sean, there and smiling. Tracy is here with a guest. Christine is here. Rana, looking great as always. Joni is here. Wendy, love the shirt. Sheila, all right, fabulous glasses. Heather, all right, love the energy. Shona, there she is. No Miles. Wenley, making a beautiful appearance. Guys, we are all present. All right.
Welcome to
Fantastic.
round of NCAC.
Fantastic. All right. Well, thank you for being here, and especially for making a special effort to be here in person. The energy in here is electric. Get supercharged on snacks and get comfortable. Let's do this. There's pumpkin bread for anyone who's curious. All right. One quick note before we get started. You will find handouts that we passed out. If anyone doesn't have a handout packet, let me know and I will pass out additional ones. Jean, they will be showing up on Zoom for you as well.
Thank you.
So,
The list of grant assignment does not include my assignment.
we will get to that. All right. There's a new meeting on our calendar scheduled for 7 p.m. on Tuesday, February 3rd. You'll note that in your meeting agenda.
I don't have.
This is the meeting at which we, as a council, will choose the final design for the mural installation at 1299 Highland. So please mark your calendars. It will be an exciting evening and you'll definitely want to be part of the discussion. There's going to be a lot to talk about. All right, on that note, we're going to move on to the approval of past minutes. I'm hoping that all of you had a chance to review our minutes from the last meeting and also from the subcommittee meeting that took place on October 10th. Are there any corrections or additions to either of those minutes? All right, hearing none, can I get a motion to approve the minutes for the September 30th meeting? Okay, Heather.
Second it.
Joni seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the minutes are approved for September 30th. And can I get a motion to approve the minutes for the subcommittee meeting of October 10th? Heather, okay. Joni moves, all right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. October 10th is now approved. All right, on that note, quick and easy, we can move on to the treasurer's update, Kavita.
Sure, so. I will be quick with this one. So for the last year, this financial year 2024-2025, we still have 9 events for which we have not yet received paperwork. So it has already taken place. Received one paperwork for one event, Kalino, just today, so I have not processed it yet. And that leaves us with an encumbered funds amount of 6,420. That's for last year.
Now again, please.
6,420. For this year, we have a donation funds balance of $3,310.50. Town funds of 18,300, which expire next year in June. That is June 30th, 2026.
I can't close it.
Sorry?
She asked me to.
No, that one has to stay open. We have to keep one open.
You can just leave it open a little.
Just a crack. Yeah, perfect. Thanks, Sean.
All right. Sorry. And then MCC funds, we have $9,400, which expire next year, December 31st, 2026. The total funds that we had were 26,675. we chose to set aside $7,500 for the mural project, which leaves us 19,175 for grants today. That'll be an important number to remember,
19,175.
75.
It's also in your email too.
Right, but I
I
like,
need it.
I know.
It's good to write it down. And it's good to keep in mind, well, we're gonna talk about that number again very, very soon. Okay, fabulous. Any questions about the treasurer update? Okay, so we're gonna move on. And the first item of new business on our posted agenda is the Needham Community Council project. It's an incredibly important and timely project, and it absolutely deserves its own focused discussion. However, our single most critical task for tonight is reviewing 50 grants. So out of respect for everyone's time, and to ensure that we give the grants the full concentration they deserve, I'm formally postponing that discussion until a future date. As I mentioned in my email, we're going to pick this up after our grant cycle is complete. So are there any questions about that? Okay, perfect. Next, we're going to move on to elections for the secretary position. We're gonna hold our election for secretary. As I mentioned in my email previously, it's a very vital and a very manageable role. And one that all of you are capable of doing extremely well. You're all superlative communicators and you're all actively engaged. So at that said, I'd like to open the floor at this time for nominations. You can nominate a fellow member of the NCAC, or you can absolutely nominate yourself. So let's hear some names. Are there any nominations?
I nominate Shona.
Shona, okay, perfect. Are there any others? All right. Shona, you accept? Okay. Excellent. All right. Is everyone in favor?
Yes.
All right, perfect. So fabulous. Shawna, you are now our new secretary, which means you need to begin work immediately. All right, perfect. I appreciate it very much. And you're going to do phenomenal and tremendous work for this committee.
What I do. yeah.
All right, fabulous. All right, perfect. So we can move on to our next item on the agenda, which is the Chapel Street mural repair update. This is just an update on the repair plan. It's a two-part process. First, we're going to need a specialized contractor to come in and repair the underlying substrate. The wall itself was damaged underneath the mural. And second, Mia, our artist, is going to do the paint touch-up. So here's where we are on cost and timeline. I received several estimates from stucco plasterers for the repair of the wall. The best one was from Noon Construction in Norwell, Massachusetts for $850. It's a pretty hefty sum. But I received several that were well above that mark. Supposedly it is a full day project because the wall needs to be warmed and there's special materials that need to be used. And complicating this now is that there is actually a minor repair job that was done by an unknown person, an unknown entity to the wall itself that needs to now be scraped out. So anyway, this person is going to prioritize not only repair the wall, but prioritize maintaining the integrity of the artwork, which is exceptionally important. And he understands the significance of that in the project. Mia has not yet given her assessment for the paint because she needs to see the fully cured wall before she does that. The good news is the plasterer can likely do the repair before it gets too cold, but the stucco is going to need ample time to cure properly over the winter. So otherwise the paint will peel right off. So Mia won't be able to do her painting until the spring. If she does it sooner, the cold and the moisture is going to damage the paint. So we must formally vote tonight to set aside funding from our reserve fund, which currently has, and correct me if I'm wrong, Kavita, $3,310.53. Since Mia's costs are still unknown, I'm going to propose that we vote to encumber an amount of up to $1,600 from the reserve. That would be the $850 for the wall and a $750 buffer for Mia's work in the spring.
Question.
Yes,
Why isn't the owner of the wall responsible for this?
this is a really good question.
Yeah.
So, we actually followed up with legal about this. So this was an entire back and forth that's been going on since our last meeting. We had the, legal team for the town look into the contract. The original contract that was built between Mia and also with the building owner, and he has no actual responsibility to fix the wall or to repair any of the damage that exists in the mural. So that's, it's not something that the town is able to compel the owner to do. It's something that we, as the owners of the mural, would have to take on ourselves.
Is it worth approaching the owner to see if he would split the cost?
We have,
did.
yeah,
So okay, so can I say something?
yeah,
So he
absolutely.
wanted this. This is on the part of the wall that was extra, right?
So that's another really great question. So it's actually on the corner
Yeah.
where the
Okay.
original mural and the wraparound mural meet. So it actually affects both
Right.
of those
But
pieces.
he loved the mural so much, he asked us to paint the other side of it,
Mhm.
and we did.
Mhm.
And now there's this damaged corner, and the landlord won't even split the difference with us to repair his wall. He wants us to pay for the whole thing, not only the repainting, like to make it pretty and whatnot,
Well,
but
the
the
plastering.
actual plastering and integrity of the wall.
I mean, we didn't plaster
I
it
have
in
a
the
problem
first
with
place.
that.
Right. Go ahead,
How
Steve.
did it get damaged?
That's the
The
average
owner
question.
bumped into it with a shovel.
The owner did it, so it's like Mia didn't do it when she came back to
Are
do
you-
the other part, like, why are we paying for this at all?
This is not right.
I wouldn't
Just trying to
pay,
get free
I wouldn't pay
construction
for it
work.
at all,
I wouldn't either.
not a penny.
Mhm.
I think we need to table this for a bigger
The
discussion.
problem is not whether he did it or a kid did it. The problem is that we signed a contract,
Yeah.
and the contract is what is legally binding with us. And we have to adhere to the thing, what's it
What if
called?
somebody drove a car through the wall? Are
So
we?
we-
They would be responsible.
So we have to
Where do
fix
we
it
draw the
for-
So
line?
what are we gonna do? Sue him and say, you know, we're instituting a lawsuit, this was your fault, you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Suing is going to cost more than. It's not worth it.
All claims is
It's
$50.
not worth it to antagonize somebody in the town. This is, you know, I thought a lot about it. When he first told me about it, I was really angry, and he copped to the fact that he did it. But he said,
Call that
you know,
Antagonizing, I would
he
call that.
didn't know,
asking
he
for-
didn't
we
know
should-
that
we
the, he didn't know that there was
Yeah,
a gap. There was, I mean, you bump into a wall with the end of a shovel, you don't think you're gonna have that kind of damage.
We shouldn't have to pay for it.
But we have a contract, we have to abide by it, we have to continue with goodwill. to the- in the town.
Here's my suggestion. I think, what I'm hearing is there's diplomacy and then there's, fairness. And the question is.
Accountability.
Correct. So, what I'm hearing from the committee is that, that people would like me to circle back with legal and see what else is possible, which I am completely fine with doing.
Yeah.
It will maybe miss the window to take care of it before the winter, but that's fine. Mia doesn't have to do her work until the spring anyway. The other option, which both contractors, told me, is that the wall, if we don't care about the fact that there's a chunk missing from the wall, we could ask Mia to simply paint over it. That's another possibility. I don't know that Mia would be happy with that solution. And also some magical plaster fairy came and tried to, you know, repair the wall by himself, and that is already starting to crack and needs to come out. So that is going to be a consideration
that
as
was
well.
Probably the owner, and now we
No,
want
he-
somebody to
he
fix it properly.
Assured me he won't touch it.
Okay.
He won't touch it. I'm willing to talk to him again. I have a good relationship with him. He loves the mural. He feels terrible that, you know, it's damaged. I'll ask him. I mean, I'll see if he's willing to tell him that, you know, we try to give our money to artists and help them, and I'll see if he's willing to throw a little money into it.
And it sounds like Abby's gonna reach out to legal.
And she can
so
talk to legal also.
we should
All right.
Probably move on.
I think I
Yeah.
think we have a lot to cover tonight, so I will follow up with legal. I'm absolutely fine with that. And I will let all of you know what is happening through email, as soon as I hear something more. Is everyone satisfied with that?
Yes.
Okay, Dreen? Yes, okay. Okay, yes, okay, perfect. So, I propose we move on. So, okay, the main events, grant reviews. As I said in my email, this will be a marathon, so we need to be very disciplined, but also fair. You all saw the numbers in my email and you've heard them from Kavita. There, we have a very steep challenge in front of us. We have a $37,000 gap between, grant requests and our available funds. So our mindset really needs to be different this year. We have to look at every single application with fresh eyes and on its merits according to our priorities, even if there are repeat applicants. So this is our chance to fund new exciting programming. And most importantly, this also means that we have to be much stricter with our yeses this year. Our goal is to fund projects impactfully at a level where they can actually succeed. We don't want to end up in a situation where we give 47 people $400 and we say good luck. So that would be not a very optimal scenario. So a yes this year really needs to mean the project is a priority and that holistically it aligns very well with our council's criteria. So with that in mind, this is how we're going to run the process tonight. First, the essential reminder on conflict of interest. If you have any personal or financial connection to an applicant or to an application, you must recuse yourself from the presentation, the discussion, and the vote. Very simple. Any questions on this? No. Perfect. All right. Second, we're going to go through the grants one by one. Each person will give their 1 to 2 minute presentation and their recommendation. Christine is awesome and has agreed to be our official timekeeper this evening to keep us on track. So 1 to 2 minutes means 1 to 2 minutes.
And she's strict.
She is. So thank you, Christine. Free cake for you. All right. So third, after each person finishes, I will immediately ask the operative question. Are there any objections or urgent questions? This is your moment to speak up. If there is an objection or a concern, we will absolutely stop and discuss it. So then we will follow up that with a formal vote. If there is silence, we will consider the presentation's recommendation passed unanimously, whether it's an approval or a denial, and we will move on. So this process will respect everyone's time. It will let us move quickly on the easy ones, and it ensures that anyone can flag a grant for discussion. All right, are there any questions? Yes.
I believe like the final yes and no doesn't typically happen today. But
It happens next.
it's just.
This is just an initial
Okay,
pass.
Right.
This is an initial pass, and on December 9th, we'll make final decisions, but we want to make sure we are able to have robust discussion if we need to this evening, so we don't have, so much to go through on December 9th, because that plus funding will be unmanageable. Okay. For anyone who's ever been to a long talk and checked the program to see how many presenters are left, yes, you can refer to the grant assignments handout to see how many we have left to go. Please note that the grants bolded at the top of the document are the ones pertaining to the Center at the Heights. Yeah. So those belong to Kavita, Wenley, and Joni has 2 of them as well. So we're going to discuss those as a group. Guided by Aisha Kelly's priorities, which you can also find in your agenda handout right here, the prior document. Okay. All right. Any questions before we dive in?
So you go by is this the order of the presentation?
So
Yeah.
Like we start with 11?
I intended to go by this order so that way we could follow along.
Okay.
Figured that would be the easiest thing. So is everyone okay with that? All right, and Rhonda, yours are right, you asked the question earlier, yours are right here, 20,
I see.
21, and 22. Okay, perfect.
Starting with 11?
We're starting with 11. We're gonna start with the hardest first, which is the Center at the Heights application. So we'll get those out of the way. All right. Anyone have any questions before we dive in? All right, then Kavita, why don't you get us started?
Sure. So the first grant, that is grant number 11, that's, the applicant for that is Ruth Harkovitz. Her project is called The Great Day for the Irish. She has requested $400 and we we granted her $250 last year. The date of the project for this is March 25th, 2026, and it will be held at the CAP. So this is a music, like the category of this particular application is music. And I have scored it as 26 so far. So it comes in very strong in terms of it being high quality, flexible, based upon what we heard before. It is individual, it is going to be performed within the town. It will be accessible to a certain group of people through the CAP. However, because of the venue, I have noted it down above venue, because they already have a venue, I've put it down as a 5. And in 3 categories, I've noted that down as a 3, which brings it to a total of 26.
What was the last thing you said? Sorry.
Huh?
What was the last thing you said?
I said my total score for that is 26.
Okay.
So it is a yes in passing, but we will review it against the priorities that were presented by
What is the budget amount?
$400.
Are you saying yes to the full 400?
No, I'm not
Oh.
saying yes to the full 400. It is at the bottom of the list from Aisha. 6, yes.
Sorry to interrupt. One other thing to note, tonight, we're not discussing funding. We're just discussing yes or no. We will be discussing partial, fully, all of that, partial funding, fully funding at the next meeting. It's a good thing to keep in mind as we're discussing these grants, but it's not something that we need to discuss in particular, this evening.
So this is yes, no, not yes, no, maybe, depending on if we have.
You can definitely do yes, no,
Yeah.
maybe. That is absolutely okay.
Okay,
And we
so-
can pend it for, the next meeting.
Right, so I was going to put it as a yes, but if maybe is an option, we will do a maybe for this one, because it is considering it's number 6 on her list of recommendations.
Number 7.
7.
7.
7.
That's something else, isn't it? Well, no.
I do have it as
it's
number
but
7.
Yeah, it is there's something else at the bottom, there's another event there, okay. So it's last but one from her recommendation, recommended list, okay.
I wouldn't rely on too many maybes because we don't want December 9th to become overwhelming. So, but it is something to have in our back pocket.
Can I make? I'm sorry.
Yep, go
I don't wanna slow it down, but because she has this list. And this happened last year too, and we did go to her and ask her, can you? It doesn't really matter, but I just think I don't know if there's a way we wanna approach that, or not. You
My
know?
suggestion is to discuss all of the CAF grants, then go back and take a look at the CAF grants. I budgeted a little extra time for, and then we can go back and we're gonna go one by one through the rest of them. So that's fine. But noted. Okay, great. Why don't we move on to Eileen?
Yes, so that's grant number 14. This is, the applicant is Eileen, and they are, again, a repeat applicant. They've been, I think, this is their 3rd or 4th time applying. Their project title is Dance Caliente. They're a program that will perform at the CAT. They will have a interactive session with the seniors, and that's the basis of their program. Again, it will take place at the CAT. The project is going to be in May 2026. They requested an amount of $950, and that's what they've requested always. And last year we granted them $600. Again, similar to the prior application, I rated them at 25. the one that they scored lowest on was whether they elevate experiences of historically marginalized populations. And again, this is number 4 or 5 on
Number 6.
Number
6 on the list, and this is also a maybe in my view.
All right, let's move on to Delvena,
Moving on to
unless there's
Delvina.
questions. Are there any questions or urgent concerns?
I think they're great. I did them last year, but I think maybe they've just been doing it for 3 or 4 years.
That's what I just said. The Delvina Theater project, their project title is None of This, None of That. They requested $695 last year, we granted them the same amount. This is going to take place in the fall of next year, maybe September or October, but at the Center at the Heights. This is the topmost, this is the top ranked project for Aisha. It ranks again, in terms of score, it ranks exactly what the other 2 projects would. But since this is at the top, I would believe that there should be a yes.
How many points did you assign this one?
25.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, all right, any objections or urgent concerns? No, okay, Wendy, we're gonna move on to yours.
Okay, David Politan, also for the cast. The program, the amount requested is $500. The program is a music program, essentially music from the Memphis area, the roots of the blues, rock and rolls. It's essentially a dual singing group. The date of the event is April 30th, 2026, which is a Thursday. And the targeted audience is about 30 people at the center at Heights. I believe this artist has performed there. The program itself, there's nothing striking. It's just the folk songs in the style of blues and the rock and roll style from the 50s and the 60s. That's what the artist performed. The budget for this program is $500. It's noted that salary, essentially honorarium or compensation to artists, is $250 each. And they mentioned that they can cut their fee if necessary. This program is listed the 8th out of the 8 programs at the Heights. So if we have to cut, this program is definitely the one to go.
So how many points did you give it?
20.
Would you say yes, no, maybe?
No, given our budget constraints, it will be a no.
All right, are there any objections or urgent questions? No, all right. We're gonna move on to Julie Stepanek.
Next is number 38, Julie Stepanek. And this is a music lesson program. The amount requested is $1,800. Julie is an instructor for ukulele. Thank you. It's a 4-string Hawaiian style small guitar. It's very easy to learn. The program is monthly. Essentially, that's going to be 12 sessions for $1,800 in total. The instructor did indicate that she will bring 25 musical instruments, targeting an audience of 50. 2 people will share 1 musical instrument and then the program will include instruction and then some practice session. If there's constraint on budget, the instructor is willing to cut back on the number of sessions conducted throughout the year. For example, if there's a 50% cut, the 12 sessions will be reduced to 6 sessions at the Center of the Heights. Still, it's a very interactive, dynamic session for elderly folks, for them to keep their mind engaged, learning, interactive. Music just boosts happiness, serotonin in the mind, brain. It's highly rated by Asia from the the program manager. It is rank.
Number 4.
Number 4.
Yeah, number 4 on the program, so.
What's the date that that's?
So it's monthly.
When was this done?
It's as soon as the grant is approved, I guess. So it'll be from, say we approve it in December, it will start in January. If we have budget constraints, potentially they can do it every other month. So
Just, it's not cold. It's not COVID. Just drink
So for this one, I think it's definitely, I give it a 25. I do like the program. There's a great need for the elderly folks to engage and stay active. There are many other community programs in that area. We can support one another by support sponsoring this program. The one thing we consider is partial. I read this 25. I mean,
Yep. Everybody yes or a no? Yes, okay. Okay, any objections or urgent questions?
Did we fund them last year? I didn't.
We did not, we actually did not fund her last year. She
Yeah.
applied, but we did not
Right.
fund her. But this
I
is a
kind of
much
feel
more
the
robust,
same way,
this is a
but
much more robust program than what she
Yeah.
presented last year.
It's kind of funny because it was like not anything that
right.
Aisha was interested in last year. and
Yeah.
doing it, but maybe she changed her mind.
My comment would be
Sorry.
that she's giving monthly lessons. Why doesn't she just go and offer these courses and give monthly lessons there on her own? That, you know, it seems to be that type of program. And there are people who do regular kinds of things there. And I thought that might be a better method for her to give individual lessons.
But this is the
Nominal.
grant that she's.
I
proposing,
understand,
so
I
we
know.
Just have to work with this.
But that's my
Yeah.
take on that.
Does anyone have any, retorts, rebuttals?
I think part of it is community, and when you're older, being with a group of people
Yeah.
doing the same thing is. part of
Maybe.
it.
Mhm.
So if it is a free event, more people will come. If they have to pay, they probably would never do it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, so if she can teach 50 people who otherwise wouldn't be interested, I think it's worthwhile for us to sponsor it.
Right.
Yeah, if it is only 1 or 2 people, that's no. but
Yeah, I'd
for
like to,
50,
I
then
I
it's a
don't,
good thing.
I'm not sure she'd get 50, but, you know, I think that would be a stretch, but who knows, maybe.
So we did have discussion on this one, so I would like to call a vote from this, so, all in favor of Julie Stepanik's application, please raise your hand. Okay, that's a majority, Jean, did you have your hand right? Jean had her hand right, okay, all right, so, we're gonna say yes. All right, Shannon, would you note that vote, please? Thank you, my dear. Okay, moving on to John Waterman.
Okay, grant number 46 for John Waterman. The amount requested is $500 for a music program. This is live music regarding the railroad era of the American history. It does have a diversity and ethnic focus on all the different ethnic groups participated in the railroad building era of the Great America Railroads. It emphasizes diversity, so for them, it's a good thing for the community to learn about American history that way and the contributions of different ethnic groups and the ordeals the nation went through back in the days. The target audience is 60 people at Center of the Heights. And it uses a series of programs with historical themes and live music, along with slides and narratives to inspire enthusiasm for history. That's the kind of the main focus of the program. John Waterman himself is a historian and educator for that period. So I think this one is ranked
Second.
the second in the Center of the Heights list. I gave it a score of 20, so it's kind of in the middle. Recommendation is to a yes. For the 500 requested, it's noted 150 is for compensation of the host. And then there is 350 essentially to cover overheads, some equipment purchase, supplies, and marketing and promotion of $50. So those are discretionary amount that can be essentially excluded, correct? Just a side note.
I believe that that grants cannot be paid for equipment. We've run into that before, I believe.
I think grants are okay to pay, if it's personal equipment for the artist to be able to fulfill the grant itself. I think that's okay. Like if she needed to buy more ukuleles in order to fill
Into
into,
that and make sure.
but I will double
maybe,
check that with
yeah.
the MCC. But if it's just, if someone says, equipment just for
Well, if
there-
he uses it for one thing, he's using
one
it for all the
thing,
rest of them,
yeah,
so.
I'm not certain about that. I can get in touch with,
Sticky.
Jay Wong about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Okay,
So for this particular grant application, it looks like the equipment is more like audio related, cables, connections and software. Path has all the equipment ready to go, so it doesn't seem like we need to
Mhm.
reimburse for those amounts. So my recommendation is to just grant the compensation for the instructor of 150. As a
Mm.
side note.
so one more thing, we're not talking about funding tonight, just as a reminder, but as another, thank you for that, but the other thing is that, we are not allowed to, by, per the MCC to grant under $250.
Oh.
So it's okay, nobody knew, it's okay, it's one of those esoteric rules. So, that's something to note as well. Anyway, Wendy, fabulous presentations. Are there any objections or urgent questions regarding John Waterman? Wendy's, said yes.
I would just go back to that part, to John Waterman and say like, is there something specific about these tables? I mean, I would ask him that only because it was a number 2. But
So we had him last year, I should go back and look at. If he was asking for supplies, money for supplies as well,
Yeah.
because we granted him. last
What
year.
did you say?
We granted him
Mhm.
a grant last year. I can go back and look and see if, we paid for his supplies last year.
It's. Yeah, it's equipment, not supplies. Supplies we pay.
But-
Yeah.
That's what.
So we are having discussion about that. So I'm going to, Wendy, has suggested a recommendation of yes, but what I'm hearing is that people, on the council want more information first before we go ahead and approve this. So I'm going to change that to a maybe, with more information. Um,
Sorry, the date is April the 29th, which is a Wednesday.
And just, we need to have a vote that maybe with more information is where we are with this
Yes.
application. I just need to see hands. Okay, Jonah, would you mind noting that vote? Thank you. Okay. All right, on that note, we're gonna return to, I'm sorry, we're not going to return. We're going to move on to Tova Speeder, which I believe is Joni's.
Yeah. So Tova's project is for the 3rd year breathing butterflies. It's February to September of 2026 throughout Needham. Her goal this year is to host 3 additional community workshops throughout Needham, during which people draw their breath as they exhale and focus attention on their breathing as a way to calm and center people. It's free for all participants. She's looking for $1,600, a budget of $2,850. They love her at the CAF. It's a wonderful program. I've looked at all of the things that she's done. My only issue with this is that she's done it so many times that maybe we need to, maybe we need to look at the amount and give them something different. that could serve the same purpose. But, you know, on the other hand, I love her, I love what she does, so it's a difficult position to be in, but I'm really thinking that with how tight we are, it might be a good year to find something different. She's got great letters of recommendation from the Council on Aging and the Resilience Network, who said that she's repeated the program many times. She scheduled it to the Council on Aging for February 24th. But again, it says from February to September of 2026. And again, she's asking for $1,600. Salaries are $1,200, supplies are $300. Additional salaries for artwork and installation is $800, and $500 is for scheduling and publicity, etc. So I'm really torn on this one, and I'm gonna let you guys make the decision because I'm really sitting on a very spiky fence.
And let's say maybe.
How many points did you give it?
I didn't find the sheet, but I remembered offhand, and I would give it somewhere around 20 to 20, about 23 to 25, because she is so good at what she does.
Like 24, we'll split.
Yeah, she's so good at what she does, and I'm sure that it's a wonderful program. If we had the same amount of money we had last year, I would be all in, but we also have 50 grants and, $7,500 left. That's why I'm.
She's done this a lot. Did she do it at CAP last
Yeah.
year? At CAP last year too.
I believe she did.
I know she did it one year, a few years ago.
I don't remember it being.
No, I don't either. No, I don't think it was.
It wasn't a
at
CAP?
No, it was
It was,
not.
she did something for the aging according to a letter, but, okay,
So maybe look back on that.
yeah, I will double check on that.
That might be the deal breaker.
Right.
But I know she was at CAP once because I don't still be there.
So do we want more information before we make a decision about this grant? Are we all in favor?
I will get more
Okay,
information.
more info.
Chris Swanson. I think he's new. I believe this is not.
That is a new application.
It's a new application and very enthusiastic about what he does and what they do and how they do it. They are a trio of retired employees of Bose, which is right here in Needham, was right here in Needham, it may still be. They are retired employees. They're elderly. They're about, one is, elderly? They're younger than I am. They're in their 60s and 70s.
That's not
Yeah.
elderly, just
Yeah, they play for the pleasure of giving back to the local communities. They're fun. They do acoustic and they're an acoustic trio that do cover songs from anyone and everyone that will appeal, from the Everly Brothers, Simon and Garfunkel, John Denver, the Beatles, Crosby, Stills and Nash. They encourage sing-alongs. They bring, lyrics. They have wonderful letters from the town of Southborough Senior Center and the Framingham Senior Center, who they both absolutely love them. They are asking only for $225 to cover their expenses for getting here from, places, etc. And reading their publicity, they just look like the most fun guys at a party. And I'm very enthusiastic because I think it's something that seniors at the CAP would enjoy, especially the sing-along parts, and because it's brand new and different.
They have a date.
Absolutely. They don't have a date yet, but they have been in touch with the CAP and will get a date.
Are there any objections or urgent questions?
How many points?
I'll give them all. There was nothing that I saw that raised anything. So what, I think there's 30 total,
35.
35 total. I would definitely.
All in favor? All right, my suggestion,
Timer. I'm not getting calls. That's the timer.
I don't realize.
my suggestion very, very quickly before we leave the CAF is to revisit Ruth Harkovich and Eileen Herman Haas. Very, very briefly, maybe 20, 30 seconds each, and just see if we can come to a conclusion. just because we are starting to accumulate a lot of maybes. And I think December 9th is gonna end up being another marathon.
Okay.
So, Kavita Ruth Harkovitz, that if everyone recalls, that was the Irish songs. Does anyone have any opinions about that? Before that was fairly low on
Yeah.
Aisha's list.
I would just
Um,
take it off.
So
I'd say no.
Because it's, I would
Yeah.
take 7 and 8 off, just
can
because
we,
they're so low.
can we change that to a no?
Yeah,
Okay. And Eileen Herman
What
had,
was that? Which one?
that was the
Number
first
11.
one.
Yeah.
Yep, grant 11, and then grant 13, Dance Caliente, it's Eileen Herman Haas. She has a very robust program where she and her partner do ballroom dancing with lots of costume changes. However, they have been to the CAF quite a bit. I
I
think
say
we funded
no.
them for
No.
the past 4
No,
cycles.
no.
I think
No.
no.
So, okay.
Just because it's so deprioritized on that list
Yeah,
too.
and
All
she's
right.
been there a lot.
And is everyone in favor of those two no's?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, so I think we are finished with the CAF for this evening. Joni, you still have the floor because you have 2 more
Oh,
grants.
okay, so. So here.
Thank you for everyone.
Story time,
Maybe just one thing, I think
Yeah.
the last, the Chris Swanson, it's 225, which is below 250.
It is. So we actually had that. Yeah, thank you, Wendy.
right,
Great detail orientation. We actually had that problem a few years ago. The 250 is the lowest technical recommendation. That is something that we have to consider, but if they ask for 225, that's what we have to give them. We have to grant them the amount that they asked for. But we can't say we're gonna give you 150 when they asked for, say 950. It's a very strange rule, but does that kind of make sense? Yeah,
Yeah.
ish.
Yes,
I know,
But it's a
it's-
rule.
I know, it's so, if they had asked for $225 and that's all they had asked for, we can grant them that amount, but we can't lower their amount to lower than 250 if they asked for more than that.
Okay, I'm cool.
Does that make sense? Okay. Thank you, but great clarifying question, and thank you for asking that, because I'm sure a lot of people.
yeah, I
have that
meant to
question.
mention it.
Thank
forgot.
you.
Okay.
Thanks, Wendy, appreciate it. All right, Joni.
Storytime Press, they're a favorite. We've funded them for as long as I can remember doing this, 6 years now. Everything they do is fabulous. They do serve underserved children. And this program this year, the Literacy and Love Project, supports emotional and cognitive development of children in need. And given what's gone on, I think it's a very good project. It does go year round, and I really applaud that effort to help these kids at all times and give them things they need. This one particularly matches books with stuffies and stuffed animals and gives each child a book and an animal to cuddle and read. And I think it really touched my heart. And if I'm being too emotional and not rational enough, you can tell me. But I think it's a fabulous program, and I think that we should support it as to the best of our ability. She's asking for $1,000. Her budget is more, but the supplies that she has to buy is about $1,000 for the year. And she looks very hard to get the best prices and the best deals, so I don't know that we can fund it to the full, but I would like to say yes, that we will fund it as best we can.
Okay, are there any objections or urgent questions?
Nope.
Okay, moving on, Temple Beth Shalom,
Okay.
Joni, that's also you.
So Temple Beth Shalom wants to bring in Hanav Piven. Hanav Piven is an artist, and what he does is he takes all kinds of broken toys and broken stuff, nails, scissors, whatever you have around the house, and kids come and they put together these projects that represent their families. It's a wonderful project. I've heard of this guy, I've never seen his work, but I believe they're asking for $1,000. Their expected budget is 1,900. I feel very strongly this is something that a sisterhood or a brotherhood at a synagogue should support, that it's not really a community. They said they'll publicize this through Facebook and word of mouth, which means very clearly through Facebook, it's gonna go to their community, and
Yeah.
word of mouth, it's gonna go to their community. So on this one, I would say no and turn it back to their sisterhood or brotherhood.
Is there any objections or urgent questions? All right, phenomenal. All right, I guess I'm up next.
Yeah.
All right, Discovery Museum, my recommendation for the Discovery Museum's Open Door Connections project is a yes. This is a reliable program from an institution we know well. The Open Door Connections provides free museum admission and memberships to underserved individuals and families, including educators, foster families, military families, and first-time parents. Last year, it enabled 548 Needham residents to have free access to the museum. While the applicant is Acton-based, the project provides a significant and direct service to our residents that aligns perfectly with our key council priorities. It scores exceptionally high on accessibility and delivers a clear public benefit. Furthermore, it directly addresses the needs of underserved groups within Needham. Even in a year with limited funds, this project's proven high impact for hundreds of Needham residents makes it a strong candidate for funding, and I recommend approval. I gave it a 24 out of 35.
I have a question.
Yes.
Did they, sorry, it's out of order, so I'm not sure where it is on here, but anyway, it was just, do we know how many Needham, does it? say?
548.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, it does say that. at
So it
the end
wasn't
of
an
it.
insignificant number. I think if it had been, like we served 20 Needham families, I would have said, you're in Acton. But it's $400 and every dollar counts right now, but I feel like this is a program that directly serves underserved individuals, and there's a pretty significant number of people who are impacted by the program. So yeah.
I think when I looked at their application that they said they only applied to Needham for a grant. Why? I mean, it's based in Acton. Why aren't they applying to other communities?
They are applying to other communities. So the way the Open Door Connections works is they are funded by, sorry, Christine. They're funded by various LLCs like ours that they serve, and they're also funded by state dollars, federal dollars. Like they have various sources of funding, but they receive funding from a wide number of sources in order to make that program possible. So the fact that they're in Acton based also, it's given me pause for years, but they are a proven program and they do have a very large impact on our community. So, but it's up for discussion if anyone wants to, discuss further. That's totally fine.
What was the request again?
It was $400. So.
I think we fund them every year.
We do. We have fund them every year, but that doesn't matter this year.
I think that just to clarify on the point about repeat funding, I think it's different if it's like a program that people keep seeing over and over again, and a program that you're supporting because they're constantly needing the money to fund people in need, or like you said, or like both of those examples that the two Storytime Crafts
Right.
and the Discovery Museum. So
Right.
I think there's just to point out that.
That's a really good point. There's a difference between fresh programming and programs that are durable and require renewed funding every year because they are serving a need.
Right, and
Exactly.
both of these programs serve a large number. I mean, 548 people is a lot of kids and families that get to go there. It's a fabulous place.
But like I said, up for discussion. So does anyone have any objections or urgent questions?
I recommend it.
Okay, so yes. All right, my second evaluation is for the First Parish in Needham Tears of the Ocean project. It's a transformative grant that I strongly urge the council to fund. Perhaps not fully, but at least partially. This project is a permanent public art installation by a local indigenous artist to honor the lives and legacy of Native Americans and African people displaced or enslaved in early Needham history. Tears of the Ocean is not just a public art installation, it's a sculpture that honors and bears witness to Needham's untold histories. The project is part of a larger, profoundly meaningful vision for a memorial trail that will be woven into the fabric of our town. The installation directly fulfills our priority to elevate the diverse voices and experiences of historically marginalized populations and illuminate histories that have been erased. It represents a reparative and restorative step forward in our town's reckoning with its past and in its collective consciousness. The collaboration behind this work is robust. First Parish Universalist Unitarian Church, whose minister is the lead applicant, is donating the land for the installation, ensuring venue stability and institutional dedication. Furthermore, the leadership involves Select Board member Kevin Keene. It includes a descendant of enslaved Needhamites, Jupiter and Ishmael Coffey, and it is being created in partnership with Talitha Sunrise Fortes of the Natick Praying Indians, ensuring cultural integrity and a strong community base. This highly impactful step towards supporting ethical public art in Needham absolutely, in my estimation, merits approval.
Okay.
So.
One of the. 35 points on that.
I give it all the points. I threw the points at it, so.
I know you were out of time, but I have a question about that.
Yes.
Because I tried to look up the artist, couldn't find any examples of artist artwork. So I would my request is to get a link to some of the artist's artwork.
Yep.
Because the sketch is just not enough. I can't understand what that
Right.
sculpture is. So I love the idea, but I need to know. Like the sculpture actually looks kind of menacing in the drawing, very pointy. So that would be my one concern, is just to see what they're.
Got it.
I
Okay.
don't want anything that can impale children. That
No,
can
I'm
impale
sure
children.
it won't, but I'm just saying, like, the drawing is
No, I
not
thought-
winning me over.
Thought of that,
The
yeah,
concept totally is.
yes, I agree.
Right.
And obviously they're asking for a lot of money, so we'll have to talk
They
about
are,
that next week.
that, I
Yeah.
figured that would be something we talk about next time. They're asking for $2,000, which we just
Yeah,
don't have.
yeah,
Like, there's no way,
yeah.
there's no way that's going to happen. But, I just wanted to get an initial, like, yes, we're in favor of this project. But, if you would, the question is, do you want more information before we say yes, or do you want to say yes and then I also get more information?
Yeah.
The
Yes,
latter,
first.
the latter.
Okay. All right.
Wait, which one are we saying?
Sounded
Yes,
like
and then
yes
more
and
information.
more information at the same time. So unless Heather, you're totally
I'm against
uncomfortable with
that,
that.
actually.
Okay.
I need to see the work. They're asking for a lot, and even if we did half, that's still a lot.
Okay.
So you have to have an example if you're going, in my opinion.
I also have one more question. Are they seeking funding like from any kind of local business sponsorship?
Yes,
Okay.
they're seeking local sponsorships, they're
Okay,
seeking
good.
private donations, they're
Okay.
seeking lots of sources of
And their
co-funding.
total, I don't remember their total budget.
Their total, it was exceptional, it was like 20 something
what I thought it
thousand
was,
dollars, it was
okay.
a lot,
That's what I
yeah,
thought.
it was,
Alright.
it was a pretty hefty
Good.
budget.
Okay.
But all right, so I'm gonna run with Heather's suggestion as maybe, and based on more information, is everyone comfortable with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. All right, next grant application is Gail Fisher, who some of you might recall was at our grant open house back in September. My third recommendation is a resounding yes for Gail Fisher's workshop. Gail is an accomplished local photographer with strong ties to the Needham community through the Needham Art Association and Needham Open Studios. Her project is a unique light painting workshop that will be offered free of charge to participants, demonstrating a clear public benefit and accessibility. It uses a hands-on photography technique where participants use LED flashlights in total darkness with a long exposure to make drawings and designs. The project is very freeform, meaning you cannot recreate the same image twice, which is extremely interactive and frankly sounds like a lot of fun. She has also secured a confirmed partnership with the Needham History Center and Museum, Gloria Grice, to host the event, ensuring a solid venue. It's a fresh concept and I wholeheartedly recommend approval.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do it.
Me
So,
too.
Yeah, it sounds,
I do too.
she's only accepting 6 people.
Well, that was
I think
So all of us are gonna be online at the
Only
same time.
I think that's a
Only
real
six.
issue.
Yeah, well, so I did ask her about that. There is a reason behind it. It's because if there's too many people at the same time, she can't give personalized attention in order to teach the technique, which having done light paint, I'm a photographer, so having done light painting myself, I completely agree with her. It's a very picky technique that requires a lot of very technical detail. And so if you don't have,
Total people?
it's
that are gonna
six,
take?
it's six
No,
total.
I'm
people.
kidding you.
That's
Say
not
no.
enough.
So
No.
the only thing, and the other thing I will say is that, I would like everyone to remember that, just because a project has a small number of people that it impacts, doesn't mean that it's not impactful. And that, we don't necessarily base our grants on the number of people. It doesn't have to serve 300 people in order to be a creative and impactful project.
Well, you could say
Yeah,
the people who are there may pass it on to
Six
others.
people just feels
Exactly.
really
How-
small.
what is she asking
And it
for?
She's
doesn't
asking
serve
for
any
7,
underserved
so-
population.
She is asking for $750, but she said that, that includes a second instructor. She can cut the other instructor if we grant her less. So
How many points did you give this one?
I gave this one 26 out of 35. So my personal assessment was, I think it's a really fresh program. We've never had anything like this. She has a confirmed venue, which is great to see. And it's something that's extremely creative and energizing, and we don't see things like that. And it doesn't necessarily serve kids or seniors. It's a different kind of program. I would like to see something like this in the community to encourage people's artistic process and creative process. The fact that it serves 6 people doesn't bother me in the slightest. I think that's completely fine. I think we can give her partial funding and she can cut the second photographer. I don't think that's a necessary part of her program.
I know we're over time.
We
but-
are, but it's okay.
But because I wondered about the 6 too, and the fact that she had an assistant, so she has an assistant rather than cut. I mean,
Why doesn't she
Why
have
not
2
just
more
charge
kids?
for it?
then my question is,
Mhm.
couldn't she have more people come?
Right.
And it's not just kids, it's open to everybody, right?
Oh, yeah.
So why not
It's
just charge for it
open.
like a class?
And I also like,
She
and
could.
I also agree, like, there are programs that we have okayed in the past and you don't necessarily get a ton of people. We don't necessarily know.
Just
Feels
And it's
really
not any
wrong for me.
underserved communities.
The other thing with light
Need to
painting,
come in.
I don't know if any of you have done it before, but if you have that many lights running around, then you're going to get fill into someone else's
Right.
camera and it's going to ruin the image. So I like from a strictly technical point of view, I can understand why she doesn't want to have 12 or 20 people because it's going to be very difficult to control from a technical point of view. I can see where she's coming from.
It just seems like
Um,
something that she should charge to teach people.
Offers a
Yeah.
class.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this doesn't feel like. a
Doesn't feel like a
free thing.
community project
Right, not with just,
and no underserved community.
Perhaps if we went forward with it, maybe we could recommend that she document this. So that maybe she'll get press and funding from other venues for next year, other sources. You know what I
I
mean?
mean, we could actually help her with that as
yeah,
well.
but that's not,
So-
I don't think that's in our purview to be doing that kind of thing. We wanna serve the most people in our town of all different interests. And yes, I agree with you. This sounds fascinating and interesting. And if you said, it serves 15 people, I would have said, that's not a lot, but okay, but 6 people for $750, even if you cut that in half, it's a lot of money.
But it's not a lot of money for an individual to pay for a class.
That's exactly right.
So can we
We'll pay
vote on this?
50
Because
bucks.
we've spent a
Yeah.
lot of time.
I
on
think we
this.
have to. I'm still in favor of it happening, even if we could come back to her with feedback, which I am completely fine with. So I'm gonna propose we either come back to her with feedback with a yes, or we say no and move on.
So it's a maybe.
So wanna vote, how many wanna
Yes.
vote yes?
Yes, I vote yes. That is not a majority. Okay, how many people want to say maybe? Also not a majority. How many people say no? That is a majority. Okay. Gee,
Five.
okay, that's five. That's majority.
Well,
All right.
excited about
I was excited about it too.
Yeah.
All right, moving on, grant number 8, Roseanne Fleischauer. This is an easy one. I said no. I can get into all the reasons, or we can save some time. It's up to you guys.
What was this? What was the project?
Yeah.
Same time.
Yeah, there were a lot of problems with it. Ask me after if you're interested.
Could propose
Feasibility,
budget.
feasibility, achievability.
Everybody else has a hard no, then maybe.
Yeah, feasibility, achievability,
Oh,
clarity
that's a
of
hard no.
vision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just had to look at my notes.
What was the name of the project?
It was crocheted together today. Yeah,
Okay.
feasibility, achievability, clarity of mission. Budget was $2,350. There was too much wrong with it. So,
Yeah.
all right, moving on. So we all agree on that one.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Christine, you are up. Can I actually ask someone to
Someone
keep
else?
time for
Okay.
Christine?
Perfect.
Thanks, Wendy. Okay,
How
Christine,
much time do we have?
what,
2 minutes.
2 minutes, and Wendy's gonna keep you honest, so, okay.
I'm gonna speed time.
All right, you got this.
All right,
You
the
got
first
that.
one, is the Needham Resilience Network. Project title is Ponder to Page. They are asking for $2,000. They do not have a hard date. They just said spring of 26, and the location is TBD. And they listed a lot of places they're looking at, like maybe the CAF or the town hall or the library. But when I asked them the question, you know, how are you gonna really pull this together? The NRN does work regularly with all of those groups in town, so they're pretty confident that they will secure a venue. So I didn't really sway that too much. Overall, I gave it a score of 26. Where it was low was a plan in place for a venue, even though they felt like they could get one, I still had to ding them on that. And I also put them down on whether it was achievable. In the first part of the rubric, high quality, achievable, and flexible. I didn't really understand how achievable it would be. Overall, I'm saying yes to fund it, but not at the full amount, even though we're not discussing money today.
So I actually have a comment on this. I had like serious issues with this. Yeah, I'm sorry. I unfortunately I don't have my notes moving on this, believe it or not, but yeah, I'm sure
I had a lot of questions. for her.
yeah, I had a lot of questions about this one too. Number one was their budget was absolutely preposterous to me. I mean, a lot of their budget, there were like line items for focus groups and, you know, personalizing prompts and things that were just, it just felt it was very bloated and, you know, dare I use the word irresponsible? I just felt like there's no way, I mean, we, you know, yes, I think it's wonderful that we should be, you know, supporting poetry and the poet laureate, and we also we have a poet laureate in Needham who doesn't cost $1 zillion for focus groups and personalizing prompts. So I had just massive fundamental issues with
I did
this.
too,
Yeah.
particularly on the word focus group, because I am a trained focus group moderator, so this really jumped out at me. So I asked her, I said, you know, and she responded and said, it's a workshop, not a focus group. The focus group language must have been in there from another grant that they were writing for something else. And she went on and on about how they've done one before. They've run Ponder to Page with 125 people before. It's the same workshop. It just has more small group breakout facilitators. So they planning on breaking the participants into tables of 8, where they'll spend some time writing about personal memories, sharing core stories, and then reading and reflecting on the stories at their table. And then the workshop will end with a large group reflection that elevates collective experiences, insights, and aspirations that emerge during the workshop. I was hung up on the word focus group, but it's not. We need to forget focus group.
Don't focus on it.
Don't focus
focus
on
on
the
the
language.
But personalizing prompts, a line item I mean, it was, I don't know.
Their budget was.
The budget was
ridiculous.
Very bloated. I don't know. I had like I said, fundamental issues with this.
When I read that, that was the first thing that
Mm.
was it.
I'm sorry, the Zoom just crashed, so do you wanna just give it a second?
Oh, okay.
Just cause it's. up
Dance
recording.
break. Why doesn't everyone have some snacks while we're waiting for Zoom?
This bread is amazing.
Yeah, we can.
So,
But made for you.
it crashed in my end, Turn says it's still recording, but I'm the, oh, I made her a co-host. Don't log out.
Okay.
Wait, did I
We're
just
still
dance on
alive.
Zoom?
Sorry.
That's
Sorry,
okay.
everyone. I'm still alright, I think I'm fine.
Energy is good. Okay.
I was, they want
All right,
proposal.
we still have a lot to get through,
we
my
do.
friend. So Needham I'm sorry, I will call a vote on this one. So,
Say no.
No.
okay, can I have a vote for yes? Can I have a vote for maybe? Can I have a vote for no? All right.
There we
It's
go.
like, that was like
No.
Simon Says.
All right. Christine, Needham Student Theater.
Yep,
All
Needham
right.
Student Theater, so this is for their 2026 summer production. They're voting in November as to which production they're going to be doing. They're requesting $700. They have, been asking us before, past granted amount was $700. The date of the project, this will run from June through August of 26, and the location is at the high school. I gave this the highest marks at 35, and I vote yes.
Okay, are there any objections or urgent questions?
No,
All right.
The date, sorry.
June through August of 26, so the performance would be
Summer.
in very early August of 26.
Did it happen this year already?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, that was
Okay.
Jean one, so the.
Oh, okay, he went,
Yeah.
okay, all right, they didn't come, okay.
Yeah. All right, New Philharmonia Orchestra. All right, bye, Wenley. She'll be back.
So the new Philharmonica Orchestra, project title is Family Concert. They are asking us for $2,000. The date of the project is 9/20/26 at 3 p.m. in Powers Hall. And I only gave this 16, so I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
Why?
Um,
Why? It's a nice concert where they have Goodnight Moon and you come in your comfy cozies and they're charging money for tickets. It just felt like, why do they need our help with that? They're charging money.
Yeah.
So,
But there are a lot of things that we do. Fun that charge.
That charge money to do
Right.
by their
A lot,
cost.
quite a few. actually.
What is their date? 9/20/26?
mhm. It's a Sunday.
That's my birthday.
Do they present a profit?
Your birthday?
If, like I said, that's.
So it all depends on how you do the math, right? If you do, my back of napkin math assumed that if it was, well, they're saying they'll have estimated sales of 4,500 to 5,000. Because they said, well, they think 150 adults, 150 children, so their ticket sales would be 4,500. But the way my math was, if you charge $20 per adult and $10 per kid, and the space holds 300, if a family with 2 adults and 1 child attended, that would equate to 15,000. If they filled the space. Right, so we have a discrepancy on the numbers. I don't think it meets the underserved either. They have done events like this in the past. This is just the first one they'd be doing in Needham. They've done it in Newton before, and their total budget was $31,25. And they were asking for 2,000.
Have we given them money before?
I couldn't see anywhere that
No,
we
I
have.
didn't see. I
They're
looked at
making
that.
a ton of money and asking us for like half their budget.
Right,
More
so
than
if they're
Yeah, I
gonna
think
make
they're not
45
quite
and their budget
clear
is
on what the
31,
math
they're
is.
turning a profit on it, so
Yeah.
why do
Right.
they?
So no.
It's new. I'm done.
Okay. All right, are there any objections or urgent questions?
I'm not totally sold on it though, but.
Me too. I'm not completely,
All right.
maybe.
Let's take a vote then. Yes. Raise your hand.
Say why?
Yeah,
You're not-
why?
what's your thinking?
That's right.
Because I do think that we have funded things that charge entrance that you have to buy tickets for, and much more than their charging.
But it's
So
just that they
something
have
about
a
this
They're,
event.
they're not Needham based either.
Yeah,
And they're not serving any underserved or in need groups, nor it, and it does not elevate diverse voices or experiences of historically marginalized populations. I gave them a one
Didn't check
for,
any
I'll give them a
boxes. Yeah, it
three
doesn't
for
check any
demonstrating
boxes, but-
community and organizational support and utilize partnerships. Like, how could you rank something at 16 and you still say yes to it?
Say no then.
I'm sorry, in the interest of time, I think we do have to call a vote.
Okay.
So raise hands for yes, please. Raise hands for maybe, please. Okay, raise hands for no. Okay, that's a no. Would someone mind grabbing Wendy from the hallway? Thank you so much. All right. Heather, we're moving on to Great Hall. Thanks, Sean. I appreciate it.
okay, Great Hall performances, bringing musical culture to the community and promoting youth participation. The Great Hall Concert Foundation brings a variety of musical styles to the public in 4 concerts. So there's 2 in the fall and 2 in the spring each year. Each concert features an opening performance by Needham School student artists in disciplines that correspond to particular professional artists. When possible, the student has an opportunity to interact with the main performers. In addition, each year the foundation has been able to provide a donation of up to $5,000 for the music program of the Needham Public Schools. The primary audience is Needham residents. They tend to skew to older people, but that varies with particular performances. And parents can go for no cost. The cost of tickets are from $50 to $70 for each of the 4 concerts. So this is where we get into the ticket. A season ticket is $200, so it is not cheap. We have funded them before for $1,000. I don't think it was last year. I think it was, I didn't write the date of the year of it.
It was the year previous.
It was the
Okay,
year
so-
before I don't
Okay,
think they asked
Um,
last year.
the date of the project is 9/25 to 5/25, so some of it's already happened and it's in Towers Hall. And Mo handles the contact person. Performances have included in the past, Movie Collins, and some others that I don't know.
Linda
so-
Eder.
Anyways, Seth's Broadway concert series, Orleans, and Tata singers Eileen Ivers. So, I gave it a 29. The low ones were the submission that addresses the needs of underserved was low. I gave it 2. It's probably 0 really. And applicants to elevate the diverse voices. It doesn't really do that either. However, it demonstrates community and organizational support. In a partnership, and it's public benefit, but it's expensive. It's high quality, achievable. And it's Needham-based individuals, and it gets the professionals involved with the high school, so I kind of like that. So I was a yes, but I know that.
Maybe. Talking yourself out of it?
Huh? No, I'm saying yes,
No,
but I
think
know,
they're great. I loved what they did this year. They had Andrea Ricardo.
Yeah.
And then they brought all these kids from the Needham Community Theater who are gonna be in Annie this coming weekend. Up to sing tomorrow with her.
Alright.
It's adorable.
All right, does anyone have any objections or urgent questions? I have one, which is that their budget is enormous. I don't think
Yes.
they need our $1,000. I think our budget, we have such limited grant. I think what they do is terrific, but we have such limited grant dollars this year. I'd like to see it like have a stronger impact toward projects that really
it's a-
require our
this feels
funding.
like a drop in the bucket.
And that's kind of what my impression was. So I don't know how, I'd like to see it go to projects that are not as financially
Yeah, and
secure.
we did fund them 1,000 in the past. And they're requesting 1,000 again. So I would
Can we
be
do it a
a
maybe?
maybe,
Can we do
I
it?
would do a maybe just to show that we're supportive of what they're doing.
And
We will.
perhaps
I think
give
we
them
should
the
vote.
minimum for community support.
And also they do provide, I mean, I don't know whether or not can't judge, do they really need it, but they also do provide.
What are their numbers gonna be if they charge all that for tickets? Is it gonna meet their budget numbers?
They pay their performers, so they,
No, I know, I'm just saying with the tickets, will they cover their budget?
No,
Yes or no?
they,
Because if they cover their budget, they don't need help.
I know somebody on the board.
that's.
It was a very, no, I've spoken to her about.
I would have to get back
It's
on that.
very
I did
tight.
not crunch
the-
numbers
the
exactly.
budget-
During
It's very
their meeting
tight.
budget, do they need our help to meet their budget?
I think if they didn't need our help, they
They
wouldn't be
wouldn't ask.
reaching out. I really
I've
would.
got one here that's asking and they don't need our help. so-
There's some that, there's
We
some that,
will, because this is
Yeah.
really dragging on, I'm sorry.
All right, I'm going to call the vote on Great Paul Performance Foundation. Yes. Maybe. That's a majority, okay?
And then
okay, so I
Jean,
will
yeah.
go back
Yeah.
and.
I'm a yes.
You're a yes, okay.
I'm a yes.
All right, yes is still only three, so, all right, we're gonna say maybe. All right, thanks, Jean.
And then Richard Hamlin, Patriots and Potters, is a potter who wants to do 2 presentations, one at the Needham Housing Authority and the other at the Needham History Center. And he integrates the history of pottery making with actually making pots. So features the potter's role in the Revolutionary War in Massachusetts and the local pottery making history while offering hands-on participation in hand and clay. He's gotten a yes from both venues, and he has letters from both of them. And people get to bring a little pot home. It's not going to be fired, but he said it's really about the experience for people that have never touched clay before. I'm a firm yes for this guy.
how much is he
What's the
asking?
budget? Yeah.
He is asking, I'm sorry.
1,000.
1,000. He's asking for 1,000 and he has not been granted in the past.
Has he applied before?
No, and I think he's,
How many people would it serve at each venue?
Housing, he gets a whole group. Yeah.
I don't think he said a number of people that it would serve, but it would just be however many can show up, because he did not give an exact number.
If it's Needham Housing, then that's a good thing.
I just,
Yeah.
it does do the line items in the budget. add
I
up
mean,
to
one
the
other-
budget, Really, for clay presentation.
Well, salaries, fees, best art, wait, this is the right one. I know, that's,
It just seems like a lot of money for, if they're not hiring and if it's a presentation.
Does he
well,
pay
it's for
himself?
2 different presentations.
Right.
So, I mean, the other option would be to,
It doesn't mean we have to fund him the whole.
No,
thing.
yeah, I'm just wondering what the budget was because it sounds like a lot of money for a presentation and clay.
Well, clay is expensive.
I feel like a broken record, but how many points did you give?
I gave him 30 points.
Oh,
I
that's a
gave him the
lot.
highest.
What's the
amount.
date, Heather?
The date is. Spring 26. Didn't give an exact, the spring 26.
We are serving underserved population of Needham House.
Yeah. I like that.
Agreed, I just, the budget sounds high.
Well, remember, we're not discussing money, we're just discussing,
Yeah.
so the money will come next time and then we can
Yeah.
So
decide.
my suggestion is we just make an initial
Yeah.
yes or
Yeah.
no, and then we can discuss
Yeah.
funding on the ninth.
Can I ask a question? How many people
Absolutely.
per?
He didn't say a
Session.
specific amount, it would just be however many, I mean,
Show up.
I can ask them. Like how
Needham
many
Housing
people can,
tends to get,
they'll probably get quite a few.
Well, but we don't know that.
Right.
It did say the target is 200 people
Yeah.
served
Oh, okay,
between 2 sessions.
okay.
So it's gonna be a large.
Sorry, I did not.
Okay, then maybe the budget makes sense. That's what it's like.
Maybe a lot of appeal. I vote yes.
Yeah.
Really. I
But
vote
we don't
yes.
have
We're
to
not
vote
voting.
yes or no right now, really, unless we.
I think it's a yes, unless there's a.
Right.
I'm just gonna call a vote, so I vote for yes. That's a majority. All right, so we'll say yes. All right, moving on to Andrew Harms.
Oh my God, okay, sorry. Well, it's Andrew Harms, bad Andy, good trumpet. I could make some jokes, but I won't. We're being recorded. Sorry. That was unprofessional. But he has, let me see. So he's requesting 1,000. I had some issues with him. It would be in Boston, and it would be a student recital and a reception and a live interview. And the way it's through the Wayland School of Music and Harvard Music Association in Boston, but I guess he has some connection with the middle school here. But I gave him a 26, but then when I actually delved more into it, I just felt like no, because
Well, doing it in
26.
Because-
Needham.
because
Yeah.
what's that? It's
How did
not
you get
Needham,
26?
and the idea is he would get people from the Needham school to come downtown Boston and perform. However, I believe that the head of arts and performing arts wasn't aware of it.
Leanne Sutton.
Is
Yeah,
that-
that's correct.
Yeah, she wasn't aware of it, and I guess he was communicating with the teacher, and I wrote to him and I said, well, how exactly do the students coordinate with this? And I haven't heard back from him. But I just feel like it seems too disjointed, and I don't understand why it's the Wayland School of Music and Harvard Music Association.
Yeah.
But there's no really solid foundation within the Needham school. Like, he doesn't have a program there or like anything in writing from the school. So I just felt too
Right.
wishy-washy.
All right, so let's,
So
is
I'm a no one.
everyone
I do.
okay with that?
Yeah.
All right.
Um,
Perfect.
and then I have another.
No. That's a
Yeah,
no.
I'm a no on that. It
was
just
a no.
wasn't.
the Kings.
Are we on the Kings?
Yeah.
We're on the Kings.
Okay, so the Kings has done it before, and I know you say people want fresh. But it was brought to my attention that they scored really high on there were a lot of people that said how much they loved it on the
Surveys.
survey that went out to Needham.
Yeah.
So, I gave them a 27. They are really good. They're not specific to underserved, but it's open to whomever knows about it. So I think
And
the
isn't their
important thing-
program new for next year? They're adding whole new,
Well, I think they're always
yeah,
adding.
they're
new-
always adding new stuff.
New, I think it's more about, keeping up the costume and
Yeah.
props that they have.
They're not changing history.
No, they're not gonna change this.
She's feeling snarky.
And see if I had any other.
I think it's really interesting for kids to see, they learn about the revolution, but for them to see the other point of view. And to realize that there actually was an other point of view, or else it wouldn't have been a war, and
Well, I think really.
So we said yes.
Yeah, it's a yes.
Okay.
What's the date of that happen?
The date is the spring 26th.
All right, are there any objections or urgent
I have a
concerns?
question
Yes,
about the
Sean.
weather. It's weather dependent, right?
So last year it was rain, it's a great question. Last year it was raining and they actually set up camp under that
Oh,
giant
yeah, they have the
structure
tents.
I
and
missed it and I wanted to
they
go.
still
but I
had,
didn't.
I think, 250 people.
Oh,
The only
attend.
thing I
It
would
was
say to them
fine.
is just like, make sure they give us plenty of notice. And I know that they were written about, but I
Yes.
think we just have to be more on top of it with getting it out there.
So 250 people came out in the
Yep.
rain?
They did.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
they're
That's
they're
a yes for
popular.
me.
It's
All right,
Yeah.
perfect. We need to move on. Looking at the time. So Jean, hit it. Oh, we can't, hold on, Jean, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now we can, yeah.
Okay, great, okay. So Quinnipiaquin Quilters, they're doing a show. They do one every other year. We did fund them in 2024. They're asking for $300. They have March 27th and 28th. They're going to be at the Needham Masonic Lodge. The admission is $10 for people older than high school. Kids in high school and under are free. 23% of their quilters are from Needham and they're putting their show on in Needham. And it sounds, they got a score of 25 for me, so I think we should fund them, to some extent.
Okay, there are any objections or urgent questions?
Go see their show, it's fabulous.
Okay, so
ahead.
rehearsal for
No, go-
life is my next one. That's a pretty cool group. They have a bunch of troops. Two of them are in Needham. They are doing freelance players in Needham with the Players Troupe. Their schedule is for January 23rd, 24th, 16 and 17. They are asking for $1,425. That we did fund them last year at $350. They perform at the Congregational Church in Needham, and they have two Needham troops, as I said. They do musical theater for youth empowerment and social emotional development. They're led by professionals. They do two original musicals with singing and dancing for kids between the ages of 8 and 16. And they have sliding tuition, so it can be 0 up to 750, depending upon someone's financial ability to pay. I gave them a score of 35. I think they're really cool, and I think what they do is really cool. And I know we've had them before, but I think the work that they do is really pretty awesome.
Donna.
I have a so did they provide a percentage of how many underserved students are getting the scaled tuition? I know this is a program that parents pay a lot of money for their kids to do.
Yeah.
It's an expensive activity after school, like horseback riding.
Yeah,
How many people are how many students are taking advantage of the sliding scale, and what are their budget numbers that they need financial support from us?
I had the exact same objection last year.
We had the exact same conversation last year.
To be enrolled, and also people come and pay tickets to come and see the shows, so it's just.
I do believe we found out that it's a fairly good percentage.
I don't recall that.
I can ask them. I'll ask them. I'll take a takeaway and ask them.
No, for the tuition, not,
Yeah, but I know a lot of rich kids in the program, a lot. I would just like to know a number, what percentage are taking advantage of the sliding scale, and with the money that they're getting for tuition and the ticket sales, are they not meeting their budget and needing financial support?
Okay,
Yeah, again,
I'll
not
take
to
that.
sound repetitive, but, oh, go ahead, Jean.
I was gonna say I can take that back.
Not to sound repetitive, but I feel like, again, that our dollars need to be very impactful this year. And if they have a significant amount of funding from other sources, including, as Shona said, Rich Kids in Needham, I feel like our dollars can be better spent elsewhere.
Right, and to that point, what they're asking for of 1425 is like a drop in the budget for their total budget,
Right.
so,
They need
you know.
Their total budget is $252,200.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
it's staggering.
So-
It's staggering.
For that, I would be a no.
Yeah, I don't think they need, I think they
I
can
would
get
also
by
be a
without
no.
us.
So should we vote?
I would also be, I would like to call the vote. So yes. Maybe,
Okay.
no. Okay, that's a no.
So I'll just cross off that 35 I gave them then, huh? Fine, okay, my next one. The next one, I'm a no, is Shalom Kovi Tal Shalom, a tribute to women composers and songwriters from around the globe. This is something they're asking for $1,000 of their $1,150 budget. They don't have a date yet. They don't have a location yet. They say they do it in the Needham schools. They've done it in other schools before, and they've had good reviews. When I spoke with them, they said they would not do this without funding. So they're like an all or nothing kind of group. They said that they would go to the PTA if they had to for whatever funds we didn't give them. But basically it's a risk, because if they don't get enough from us, they're just not a no. They're just gonna not take it. So my feeling was to heck with them. They're not,
Yeah.
looking for other funds, so. And they can't give us a date, and they're very sort of wishy-washy about when and how and all the rest of it.
I know her.
All right, any
The
objections
last-
or urgent concerns? Nope, all right.
Okay, the last one is the Sharon Community Chamber Orchestra. This one I gave a no to. They perform at the Sharon Middle School. I think they were really reaching by, submitting this to us. It's all Sharon all the time, and they're just looking for, they have one kid from UMass who's in their program. But that's just sort of a random chance. Everybody else is from Sharon, and they're just looking to the communities around them to support them. So I gave them a no.
All right, any objections or urgent concerns? No. Nope. Jean, bang up job, thank you.
Right.
Doing Manya?
I'm doing mine. All right, so that's me again, sorry. All right, my recommendation for grant 14, Highland Glee Club, is a no. This is an organization we funded for at least the last 4 cycles. They're Needham based. Their winter concert is confirmed to be held at Christ Episcopal Church in Needham. However, in a year with extremely limited funds, we must be very strict. The application struggles to align with several of our key council priorities. It does not address the needs of underserved groups. It does not elevate the diverse voices or experiences of historically marginalized populations. It also doesn't demonstrate the kind of active community partnerships we look for to increase public benefit. On top of these priority gaps, the application's budget demonstrates minimal financial need. The project has total expenses of $13,974 and $13,119 in projected income from their own ticket sales and dues. This means the project is already 94% self-funded. Given that the application is not a strong match for our core mission this year, and our limited grant dollars will have a much more significant impact on other projects that are less financially secure, I recommend that this year we deny the application. So any objections or urgent concerns?
We said no to 50% of the grants.
Good.
Right.
Good job.
All right.
Let's keep going.
Yep, I think we can always revisit.
We have many to revisit. All right, next, grant 48, our Lua Wanton. My recommendation for grant 48, our Lua Wanton's Community Family Portrait Day, is no. I have a lot of notes. Do you want all of them?
No.
Or-
No.
All right.
I think we probably all read it and we.
I think we probably all read it too, so
Yeah,
I
I
think
said
everyone,
absolutely not to that one.
everyone got it. All right, kosher. Let's move on. Dennis Zhang.
gonna vote that out.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
Thanks, Tracy. All right. All right, my recommendation for Dennis Zhang's AAPI Kid Craft event is a resounding yes. This project is a hands-on craft event for children and families celebrating AAPI culture. This project is a perfect match for our council's priorities. It directly elevates diverse voices by celebrating AAPI culture. It also demonstrates strong community engagement, as the event is run by volunteers from the Chinese, Indian, Japanese, and Korean communities in Needham. This event, which has taken place over the past several years, historically has been very well attended and enormously popular. Finally, it is accessible because it is free and open to all. Provides a clear public benefit by promoting cultural exchange and celebrating Needham's pluralistic and inclusive nature. Mr. Zhang has a confirmed venue at Town Hall. Overall, this is a high quality, achievable, and impactful project, and I highly recommend approval. So any questions or urgent concerns?
No.
What's the date for this one?
It is May 2026. He doesn't have an exact date.
So did she give that a 35 for points?
I did. All right, so,
Anna,
all right, so, someone wanna grab Tracy and Rana, we're on you.
Okay, music and dance, I do this in different things, I do that. I'll start with Charlie, because her Let's Paint is wonderful and amazing. But I think, and she'll do it with partial money. She can reduce a number of things, and I think given the lack of funds and the support she's had from us and the quality of what she does, we should contribute something. But,
What is the project?
it's, it's painting sidewalks and playground things and playground faces and
It's in High Rock.
High Rock.
And
Thank you.
using the tilting trees.
And and it's what, they go into design process and then, yeah, it's very good.
Yep.
But she can do part of it and not all of it, and I think it should be
Doing it with
amazing.
Tova as
She's
well.
very successful and she's quite wonderful.
And what is the date?
I don't have a date.
All right, that's okay.
So this grant is, if you guys remember, she brought it to us at the grants open house. She's pairing with Toba Speeder to do this grant. It's crafting interactive games and sidewalk painting and various colorful activities that the children themselves are gonna be involved, right?
There are 3 parts to it. She can do she doesn't have to do the whole thing. She can do any part.
Right.
She's got a workshop, she's got a paint jam and an installation celebration. She has potential phases of design and paint, labyrinth, design and paint crossword, design and paint plate. Obviously doesn't have to do every one of those.
I think it's great.
Did you give her?
This is at High Rock School, so, and Jessica Downey, the principal, is on board, so,
Right,
okay, perfect, so, how many, did you?
I'd say yes, but we may not give all, I mean, the money because.
Oh, that's okay, we're not talking about
But it's
money
a
tonight,
yes,
so,
yeah.
okay, perfect, all right,
Perfectly.
did you assign it points, Rana?
I didn't know.
Okay, that's all right, but it's a yes from Rana, so, any objections or urgent concerns? All right,
Okay,
Perfect.
and then I've got Angela Nath, who is, wants to do a Katha Kellner, which is Indian for to play. She started doing this years ago when she was an undergraduate at Tufts. She, it's music and dance. She has a good background. She's active in teaching dance. And she works in the, she's a dancer, direct, whatever. What can I remember? Maybe she works in the Harvard Dance complex. She looks like she's very able. She wants 250, well, she wants 250 for dancer and director, 532 musicians, 220 for dancers. I think we should do it. I don't know that we. should do it.
Where would she do this? What's her venue?
She doesn't have.
She doesn't have a venue now.
So no date either? No date, no venue?
Nope.
so the total cost is $1,250, if I could just, jump in with discussion, my issue with, I love the concept, I think the concept is tremendous. My issue with it is that she said maybe the Elliott School ? And we had a grantee last year who tried to get into the schools without a confirmed venue and didn't talk to the schools first. That person is gonna default on their grant
so
this
it's
year. So that is, an apple. So I've been trying to help her get into the schools as soon as possible. Unless you have a confirmed, date with the schools, it's very, very difficult to get in. So.
Okay, this woman can do it on her own.
Wait, one
Okay.
second, Rana, I'm
Yes,
sorry. We just need to hold a vote since we discussed. Anjali Nath, yes? Maybe? No? Okay. Thank you. Okay, go ahead, Rana, I'm sorry.
Is it music, dance, EDU?
Yeah,
or-
music, dance, EDU.
Or
That's
Jolly
the
Grant?
one we haven't
No.
discussed yet.
We haven't
just
discussed music,
discussed
right, we said
Okay,
no to
so it's
Anjali.
Anjali, that's
Yeah.
what I was.
I spoke to her on the phone because I had some questions. She had a guest musician and I wanted to know more about that.
Wait,
But it didn't make a whole lot of sense in terms of her financial need.
Okay, so go on to the next one.
Yeah, we said no, so.
We said no.
No, this is another one.
Oh, this is.
Music,
Which one
dance,
do you want?
This is,
EDU.
this is to play.
Oh, no, we're done with that one, Rhonda. We just
Yeah, we
voted on
voted
it. We're moving
We
on
have to do music, dance
EDU.
at EDU.
Oh, my God.
Number 20.
The hip hop chair then.
Oh,
Yeah,
that was very good. It's lovely. It's hip hop charity. They've done it many times and they thought of doing it with seniors when they were, I think it was at MIT, and they had a group with someone in a wheelchair. And they thought we could do this with seniors in chairs. It sounds fabulous. It really does.
What did we get them last year?
$280, and they're asking for the same this year, I believe.
so did you give it a yes?
Yes.
Okay,
I
all
had-
right.
I had a question about that one.
Mhm.
Was it a good fit, Anita? Because I think I had that one last year and I looked it up. And it was sort of unclear if it was a good fit for seniors when I saw the images, but.
Well, I'll tell you from North
but it
Hills,
was,
we do this music for seniors for a number of reasons. It's good physically, it's good emotionally. They don't make them do crazy things.
I would just ask Avita what they thought, because it's the same venue, right?
They did, Avita did give them a letter of support again
Okay.
this year with their application, so if that
Okay.
counts for a
I think it's
meeting.
good.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna hold the vote. Yes, for chair dance for music.edu. All right, that's a majority. All right, perfect. All right, moving along, Shona, you're up.
Okay, so my, first
Let me get out
one.
my timer
Oh,
here.
yeah.
You Way too
Me?
much.
I will be quick. So I have, the, I don't know who the, the Opera del West. My vote for this was a no, for a number of reasons. They do not have a confirmed date and venue. I emailed to ask them a few questions about date and venue, and they never got back to me. They are selling tickets that will fully cover the costs of all of their budget and then some. They also said they have money reserved from last year, so if we were to give them money, it would go over budget. There were some wishy-washy plans to include middle and high school students, and with a January date that is not confirmed with a venue, that seems very unlikely to happen.
Okay,
So, you know,
All right, any objections or urgent concerns? Perfect. All right, next.
Wendy Farm.
yes, so Wendy. So this is a new one. This is a, oh, do we have anybody that needs to leave? This is an AAPI?
I don't know her.
No.
Oh, okay.
I just know the other one.
Oh, okay, great. So this is Voices of Heritage. It is a Lunar New Year celebration to be to take place at the Needham Public Library. They're asking for $500. It's free. It's targeted toward kids and families. There will be art, books will be given away. There'll be cultural, multicultural workshops. And the only thing is that they said that they were working with somebody at one of the schools, and I asked if they had secured the venue at the library, which probably isn't too difficult,
No,
but.
Actually, really
It
hard.
can-
to
yeah,
find.
it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
Then
one of the
I'm gonna
hardest.
say no because they didn't have a confirmed venue.
Well, I would maybe ask. them.
Yeah.
I did, I asked.
Oh, okay, and they didn't.
All right,
Okay.
so that's a no from Shona. Any objections or urgent concerns?
Can I ask a question, because I'm new?
Absolutely.
When they get a no from you, I mean, how does the?
Oh,
no
how does
work?
the no work?
Yeah,
Okay.
like, will they know the reason that they didn't have a venue? Because the idea sounds lovely. I did say in my email, I said, I have a question, have you confirmed the venue and the date? And the firmer your plans are, the more likely you are to be considered for funds. And she wasn't able to get back to me, and she said she was working with somebody at the school, and I said, are you talking to anybody at the library, not at the school? I never heard back. So I was clear on like the more firm your plans are, the more likely you'll be considered for grant funds. So she should know. and she didn't get back to me, so.
I just didn't want to discourage anybody, because the idea is lovely.
Yeah,
So
I
if,
agree.
if that,
But
if
I
the reason
said-
that they get that, then maybe next year
Right.
they
Right.
will put that in place, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a great question.
It is a
So
good question.
technically, we don't need to provide them any sort of information as to why they were denied. So
Mhm.
denials go out automatically when we enter them into the
Right.
I
system.
see.
That said, I can absolutely, and I have that note for actually a couple of the grants that I said no to, in my evaluations. I can absolutely follow up with them because we have all their contact information. It's in the grant with actionable feedback and say, hey, it would have been much stronger grant if you had said X, Y, and Z. If you could do this, if you could get this type of planning done in the future and resubmit next year, we'd love to see your application. There is nothing preventing us from doing that.
That's what
and
I'd like to see.
That's what I intend to do.
Because otherwise it'd be a maybe, because it's.
Yeah, I will
it's a-
follow
it's
up with her,
great
because I've
concept.
emailed her twice and not heard a firm, and then the first person I emailed and they never responded at all.
Email's so tough though these days, you
It's
know?
not, it's, you know what, if you're
No,
asking us for
feel-
money, you should be willing to
That's true,
respond,
that's true.
you know,
I just, you
before
know,
I give you
millions of
$1,000.
emails, you know.
She's a softie like me.
I am a softie. Admit it.
So
Work
what
it.
we found, I'm gonna hold the vote since we did have discussion. Yes? Maybe?
Okay.
Oh, that's a
Oh,
lot.
wait,
That's
maybe,
actually a
maybe.
lot of you. All right, I'm gonna say that's a maybe, then we're gonna return to her. So
I will
Shawna, if
see
you could,
can confirm a venue.
all right, plugged in.
I have mixed feelings on this one. I know we've supported them historically in the past. They're all Needham based and serving Needham community. They're asking for $1,000 for intergenerational inclusive open mic, which takes place monthly. They have a sound person, they have a music teacher who plays music while people do the open mic. I didn't get a clear sense of whether they serve an underserved community. Also, their budget seems awfully high. I mean, I know it's for an entire year, but they have $300 for puzzles and $300 for drinks and tableware. It just seems like beyond just the open mic, and they were giving the credentials and saying how credentialed the instructors are, but nobody's receiving any instructions, so it feels like it feels like a lot of money. And some of their responses were, yeah, nobody's really getting instruction from these highly accredited instructions. I feel like I'm a maybe. I am a maybe.
They do get a lot of instruction. They're not good at filling out forms.
So
But-
for open mic, they get instruction?
They get, yes, they learn MC skills.
Okay.
They learn how to use microphones and how to use sound systems. They learn all the technology. They
And is
learn
this at the
lighting.
Center of the Heights, the
There's-
residents?
And it may not be underserved, but I would say they do work a lot with all kinds of neurodivergent people.
Okay, then I
And
would
they
change
do-
it to a yes.
They do have a large underserved population. My son taught there years ago. He's
Yeah,
at
and just from the
least
grant. it
like
didn't- it
15 years
wasn't
ago. And a lot of the kids are from the least served populations in Needham because the other kids are getting private lessons. They're not coming to Plugged In.
No, I don't know if that's true.
That's not true.
I mean,
My
I think that's
kids
true.
did Plugged In and we paid like
Yeah.
full freight, what I pay a private voice vocal
Yeah, maybe
instructor.
it's
I
different.
paid
It's
them.
different because I mean,
I
David
think they
hasn't
do
taught
some-
there for 14
They
or
do
15 years.
yeah.
I just get all their emails and
It's
mailings
an
and asking for
opportunity
money.
for people to just go,
Yeah,
stand up, get used to singing.
yeah.
I did it last year, I went there and it was pretty.
Wait, you got up and open mic? That's what I
No.
thought you meant.
For us, Wendy. For us.
No, I went there because
Yeah.
that was my grant.
Your grant.
All right, I'm gonna call the vote. Plugged in band program, yes.
We vote maybe.
let me count this, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Jean, 8,
That's a majority.
that's a majority, all right,
Yes.
so we're gonna go with yes on that one. All right, moving on, Sean, you are up, my dear.
Needham Art Association. Surprise, surprise. The project is called Needham Art Outside. It will be the third year of the project. I didn't know how to copy all their information from the Google document, so I wrote it on a piece of paper. They're starting September 26th, going through August 27th. 8 locations, 64 artists, 3 major art associations involved in this, visual arts. With Needham Arts Association and Open Studios and Gorse Mills. Those are the 3 organizations that go in on it. The audience is townwide. Their total costs are $2,100. They're asking for $1,140. 5, 10,
Points.
20. I gave them 20 points. I believe we should do this. We have granted them before. I think this would be the 3rd year. I don't, because I'm new, I don't really understand exactly how art fits in with underserved or in need. I guess, is that a 0 then? I don't really know how to answer that.
That's
in
a
the
hard
rubric.
one, because it's
That's
public.
It's public
visible.
art, so it
Right.
serves
It's
everyone.
public art,
Yeah.
So anybody can see.
Anyone can
Right.
see it.
I know, so,
Anytime.
so is
Open. I
is
think
that
that's fine.
particular a 5?
I would.
Okay. I gave it a 3,
Yeah,
I
I
wasn't
always-
sure.
On that one, when it's like a public art,
Yeah.
I always gave them the
The
full
full amount, right?
amount because,
Okay,
It's open to
Okay.
anyone.
yeah.
yep, that
Up to
was my
25
question. I
now.
put 3 and question. Okay, so it's more than that then, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Does anybody have any questions on that? I did ask Hillary if they could be used another year. The ones that are up already, I think there's 55 up now. She said they don't last more than a year. And she gives them back to the artist. The artists do pay $15 per banner. And I asked her if they've gotten feedback from the town, and she said, yes, everybody's been supportive. Some people have taken pictures of the artwork and shared it with their friends. I'm a definite yes, but it's not new. So I don't know how that fits into the funding, but the project itself, I think beautifies Needham and is very well
Right.
received.
Yeah.
Right, it involves so many artists.
And our
so
logos
many.
on it.
64 artists.
I'm gonna call the vote on this one, Needham Art Association, are there any comments or urgent concerns?
Actually, I want to.
Heather has
is
a
it-
comment?
Well, I feel like we've had, there's a lot of them around, and I almost feel kind of tired of seeing them all.
Well, that's why she said they were gonna
Swap them
change them up, and
Yeah.
then, and
But I don't.
it represents 64 different artists, so.
But it's like something that, I don't know, I just feel like I'd rather, maybe it's a personal preference.
You know, I agree that there's something to think about, but when you think of the fences that are there now without the art,
Yeah.
personally,
Yeah.
I would
like to
miss.
see it
I
all the way
think
I'd
Yeah,
rather
something
fund
like
something
that.
like this than the photo thing that
Serves
Worldwide
6
Photo-
people.
that serves 6
Yeah.
people.
What I would like to see, if you wanna get back to her with feedback, and this is entirely up to the council to say yes or no. I'd like to see like QR codes or something so people can find out more about these artists.
I asked her that too,
There's
yeah,
no
yeah,
way for people to
absolutely.
find out more
Yeah, they
information about them.
can, when they go on the Facebook pages and the contact information, Needham Art Association. So she's the contact for all the.
It's too many
artists.
levels, people don't wanna do the work.
Yeah, I agree, yeah, I asked her that, yeah, how do people, and people have sold from these banners. You know, somebody actually looked up the artist and bought something from the banner.
Terrific. All right, I'm gonna call the vote, 'cause
Okay.
it's 9 o'clock and we still have a number of these left to do.
Okay.
Needham Art Association, yes?
Yes.
That's a majority. All right, moving on. Needham Diversity Initiative.
Needham Diversity Initiative is the MLK Celebration Day. Serves 300 people, hold on. They're requesting $2,000. We have funded them at that level in the past. intergenerational, co-created event, dancers, puppeteers, spoken word, highlighting writers, activists, naturalists, artists, and innovators. I gave it a 30. Dr. Dennis Slaughter, Brother Dance Band performs. I've gone on their website and seen the Zooms of past presentations. I haven't been able to go in person, but I gave it a third. What's the most? 35? Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so any objections or sorry, or I'm getting tired. Any
It's a
comments? Yes, okay, fabulous. Needham Open Studios.
So you can see how old fashioned I am because I wrote everything down.
Hey, I got my notebook all filled up
Okay.
right here, so. Just have them.
Needham Open Studios requesting $1,500. Their dates are May 2nd to 3rd, 2026. 1,000 people in the target participation, visual and performing artists, so it's both visual, painting, etc., and the performing artists, spoken word, dance, and music, including the Needham's Poet Laureate. Target is the general public. It's inclusive, anyone can go, anyone can take a hands-on demonstration. Their total costs are $5,325. That includes the Sunita Williams cost per rental, which is $1,400 over 2 days. That's where I think, that's sort of a high budget item. I gave it 5, 10, 15, 28. I would say yes.
All right, any objections? No. All right, fantastic job, Sean. Sheila, you're up.
Setting out rules. Do you only do it if you are on the council, or do you have or are on the or are on the association, or if you know people?
If there's any personal connection or financial connection to the applicant or an application, then you need to recuse yourself. So.
I know people.
Okay, okay, all right. Better to be safe. Thanks, Kavita. All right.
Hey, the Indian community of Needham, the Needham Holly.
Holy.
I keep looking it up in this. Everything that Abby said about the AAPI, why to do it. Can I borrow what you said? Anyway, just remember what she said. It's Icon, they're requesting $1,000. We gave them $500 in the past. This is for their Holy Festival, which will take place sometime in April. It's kind of a two-part thing where they're doing workshops for kids where they're teaching Indian culture and Indian art, Indian dance, Indian games. That will take place in Flowers Fall. They don't have an exact date for that yet. And then following that, they will be doing the Colors Festival part, which I'm actually really excited to go to, whether we go this or not. And they plan to do it either at one of the school playgrounds or at Greenfield. Again, they don't have definitive location plans, but since they've been doing this for several years, I have confidence that they will find a location. And they're requesting $1,000. Did I say that already?
Yep.
Sorry. Okay.
That's all right.
They expect to have 350 people show up over the whole, both events. They think that they will get about 75 kids to go to the workshop, to learn about Indian culture. And it's open to not just the Indian population, but everybody in Needham. So I actually rated them, 33 out of 35. Yes.
All right, any objections or urgent concerns?
No.
All right, great. Liars and believers.
Okay, this one I had a problem with. I fit Lions and Believers is in nonprofit theater troupe that is based in Cambridge. They have an adaptive theater workshop that's geared towards neurodivergent young adults, which I think is a fabulous idea. It's at CAT. That's the only thing that's related to Needham. I contacted the applicant and I said, well, how many Needham residents are going to be attending? He said, well, we've had 8 people so far this year, not Needham, but 4 from Needham or surrounding communities.
He's tried really hard.
Or not and.
So, and last year they had 6 participants, you know, getting back to the 6.
Small
He's hoping for 15 over the course because it goes from September through March or April. Again, I think it's a great concept, but since just because it's in Needham, it's not serving Needham community, I don't think. So,
We funded them before.
Many times.
and I gave him 26 because I was generous. But because it does cover a lot of things, again, it doesn't cover Needham. So I'm really torn, but I would probably say no.
All right, any objections or?
What did you say? Where did they say they were gonna hold it?
They're having it at CAP.
That's what I thought you said.
Yeah.
And does that make sense to have it there?
They're probably renting the space.
It's just a venue.
Oh,
Yeah. A lot of programs will do that.
But no participants from Needham.
So Sheila said no, any objections or concerns? All right.
It's a really good program.
It is a really good.
It's a
program.
really good program and there have been many Needham residents in the past, so.
Well, I'm sorry, you said there have been many?
There have been, many Needham participants in the past.
Well, but they only had 6 people last year. How's that many?
No, I think the year before there was something like 15.
But
Still
that's
not-
it's still not many. And he wants $1,000 and they cover, I mean, most of it's going to his salary.
Yeah, well, that's,
And they charge registration fee and they charge
Right.
a fee for such an ego.
In the interest of time,
let's go on.
we already agreed, so if there's any concerns, we can have a vote, but if not, just we move on to, the last one,
Again?
Sheila, Dennis.
what was the vote?
The vote was no.
Or there was no vote, it was just.
We just-
no.
It was a
Right.
hard, it was a tacit no.
Okay. Again, going back to what Abby said about yeah. This is, the Chinese Friends of Needham Chinese New Year celebration. We've been funding them for several years. It's going to be either in January or February. They don't have a date, but they had it at, I think it was at Newman in the past. I gave them a 33. It looks like an absolutely fabulous event, which if I'm able to, I'm going to go to. And they have performances. So the kids learn Chinese dances, Chinese music. Again, looking at the website, it looks like the kids were having a blast and the audience was having a blast. They expect about 350 people. They do charge $5 per adult. And then I think maybe it was $10, whatever it was no more than $20 a family. And it's kind of a potluck meal and arts and crafts, and it looks great. And again, a yes for me.
All right, any,
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Is this different from his other one that?
yeah,
Yes,
it's
yes.
two different, there's the Lunar New Year event in January, and then there's the
And
Kid
that's not
Craft
the
event.
same.
No, so this is the Chinese Friends of Needham, and then the other one is Chinese, Japanese, Indian, and
It's
Korean.
just the Asian.
And it's a crafting event that's done in the town common. They're same guy who's applying, 2 different events.
Gotcha. Right.
Yeah,
Thank you
great
for that.
question
But
though.
Tracy's
Yeah.
involved with this one.
Yeah.
Tracy is involved with this one. That's why she left the room.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a yes from Sheila. Any objections or concerns? Nope. All right, perfect.
Yeah.
Steve, you're up.
is.
Oh, let's get her back in.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh,
When, would you mind grabbing?
I am.
Oh, thanks.
Starting the timer on you.
Okay. Great. The Israel Folk Dance Festival of Boston, very mixed feelings about this. It's a wonderful thing, but it's also very large. It's gonna be a temple aliyah. And they're looking. I know we're not talking-
Sorry to interrupt, it's not at Temple Aliyah, they just do, if they say Temple Aliyah,
That's
but
okay.
it actually, they're, I don't believe that's the actual venue.
That's what they said.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
They
it,
didn't say that?
no, it is.
It is.
That the venue, because a friend of mine,
They used to do it
Is
at
it?
MIT, they used to do it at MIT,
Yeah, they do it at MIT.
but I don't think they do it. at
They don't do it at
MIT.
MIT anymore. How do they do those kids?
Anyway,
Steve, go
It
ahead.
says aliyah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I would go with what's on the application. Go
That's
ahead,
what's-
Steve.
Which
Yeah.
is why, it sounds actually like a wonderful event. They aim to get about 1,000 people. They encourage children. They hope 500 to be children. And I could read the description, but it's basically celebrating both old and current Israeli dance. Very much it's both to observe, but also to participate. They encourage participation by everyone. They have a huge budget. I know we're not talking money now, because they're asking for $5,000. $22,000 budget. But because of what we do for the community, also depending on how I'm talking fast,
No, appreciate it.
because I can go on and on, trust me. How you define some of these like marginalized populations and stuff, my rubric was kind of all over the place in this one. I think I would recommend giving something, but minimum in some ways. Watching what we give, because it's a large organization, they're not counting on us. They sell tickets, half the money comes from tickets, but they have to ask for donations. Awesome. Okay.
how many points did you get?
Well, because depending on how you define some of the things in the rubric, I got between 23 and 28. I'm being honest. Yeah, like,
I actually had concerns with this one. So
Yeah.
I'm a believer that people outside the Jewish community are not going to be accessing this type of events.
Mhm.
But it
So
is open.
It's open to the public.
technically it is open to the public, but I feel like this is, again, like you were talking about, that this is something a sisterhood or a brotherhood would sponsor. I feel like this is the same type of thing.
I
Or
think
this
it's
would-
a broader appeal.
I don't
really-
think so.
I really do.
So that's just that was my personal feeling, but perhaps I'm on an island here, so,
that's unknown for me because it depends how they promote it also.
right.
So having been to one of these, and they've been gone forever, when it was at MIT, it really seemed like, because and it's huge, there's people from everywhere, but it's most likely the dancers and then the family of the dancers. That would be my guess.
I've been to one of these too, and that was exactly.
I've been to a number of them.
Yeah,
But I think any
not people
cultural
outside the
festival
community.
or cultural thing you
I
do is
agree.
primarily appealing to the culture that's being targeted. And I think that by supporting many cultures, we do the best that we can. And, the Asian population and the Indian population. And I think that it's important. I think it's a great, their thing, their dancing is great. It's a wonderful
But that's,
entertainment.
I don't know that we can evaluate how good the entertainment is as a yes or no to fund it.
Right, but it supports culture the
Yes,
same
that
way.
point is valid.
That's
I think-
right, the same way all the other
All
ones
these
that we
events.
fund support their cultures.
Yeah, no, that's a valid point. I'm just saying,
Do you want to take a vote?
And
Can we vote? Yep.
bringing a
Is
dance
there a
festival
maybe?
to-
I don't feel like I'm.
I think we should vote.
All right, can I call a vote then on Israel folk dance? Yes? Maybe? That's the majority. Okay, we'll return to that in December. Tom Keating.
Right next to a really fast, Tom Keating, it's next week what he's doing.
That's okay.
That's okay.
Done.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh,
That's
is
fine.
yep.
Yeah,
yep,
some of them have already
it's-
happened.
Some of them have already happened. As long as they're within
Alright.
July 1st, 2025 to
Yeah.
December 31st, 2026, they're fine.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, they're
actually.
okay.
Did
He's
I-
okay.
Well, basically, he's writing about memoirs, a new book he has. He wants to go to the center and talk about writing and his books and his memoirs. It's a second book. He's local. I like supporting local creative artists. So I would say he's asking for $450. I know we're not talking money. And
Does he have a
that's the only
location?
source of income to do it.
Does he have,
did it.
No, it's coming in.
I have a
Sorry.
question.
He's doing it on the 23rd,
where is it?
at the center, on the Heights.
I have a question. Is the purpose of his book discussion more promotional for his book or more with the intent of educating and
Supposed to be
engaging a community?
educating and talking about it. I mean, he's promoting the book, definitely. He's gonna sell the book. He is gonna sell the book there.
Okay.
So it's a little bit of both, I think.
And then the
I mean, I can
400
read a little bit what he wrote.
So the 450 goes to him
yes.
Yes.
For promoting his book
for promoting his book
that he's gonna sell.
that he's selling.
Mhm.
So I will.
I'm not pushing that.
Yeah, no, just to jump on what Steve was saying, I actually spoke to him pretty extensively at the Harvest Fair. That's where he came
Oh.
across us. So like I actually know who this guy is. So he's interested in sharing memories with
Right.
people at the, that's why he kind of homed in on the CAF. He's
Right.
actually done a book talk there before, like a few years ago with his first book, and it was very well received. And so that's why he was thinking of doing it again, is kind of like a book lecture and interacting with the residents, not the residents, sorry, the guests there, and kind of an interactive thing. I don't think this is just promotional. I think that's definitely like a side hustle kind of thing, but I don't think that's the primary purpose. So that wasn't the impression I got from him. I think this is really like something he just loves to do. So that was what I got from talking to him. But anyway, yeah, Sheila saw him. That's right. That's right.
I would be a yes.
So Steve's a yes. Can we get a vote? Yes. That's a majority. All right. Yes. All right. Colleen, Steve.
Mine was a no on that. One is taking place, now that I know the dates are different, but June 17th, 2027. And it's taking place either at the War Memorial or the Temple Emmanuel in Newton. And I just don't see the Needham connection.
Wait, I'm sorry. You said 2027?
27.
Okay, that's outside of
That's-
our,
That's-
yeah,
that's
so
what I-
that's a
yeah, that
no.
one's
That's an
okay.
That's an automatic no. Okay, thanks.
I
Thanks
didn't
for,
even catch that date. but
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing.
all right, thanks, Steve. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
That's pretty bad.
All right, so moving right along. Thanks, Steve, for that. Great. All right, Tracy, you're up.
The Needham Concert Society, the project title is promoting classical music in Needham, Needham-based organization. Taking place in Needham, have a venue secure already. They're asking for $1,000. They have a detailed budget, presenting a deficit even after they receive the $1,000. They do sell tickets, but students are admitted free. So I feel like it's a good program to support. So my vote is yes.
The operative question.
your rubric there.
Yeah.
Support it.
Yeah, I actually gave it 35, but then understanding that there is not much of underserved group, so maybe like a 32. Sorry, I just changed my score last.
No, that's fine.
So moving up.
So no, are there any objections
Yeah.
or concerns?
No.
Okay, moving on.
So the next one is slightly challenging one by Bella. She runs a Bali X Dance studio in Needham, and this program is to host a Bali dance program. Bali dance is a kind of dance inspired by Indian culture, and so her idea, she has not secured the venue yet. I think is probably gonna be dependent on the funding. I personally think that there is definitely some sort of business intention behind it because she runs a Bali X dance studio in Needham. But also I feel like this is, what?
Does she actually have a studio or?
Yes,
it's
a
just-
fitness studio. She's an instructor.
Okay.
I do feel like this is a refreshing element and represents a certain culture. I voted a maybe also because a big chunk of the budget actually goes to herself as her salary. So it's a little bit of a challenging one. I guess my intention is to fund much less than what she asked for, but to go for it. So largely a maybe.
I had a question because she said 2 sessions, 200 people. So it's 100 people. Can you even fit that many in that space?
No,
Yes,
she
I have.
actually taught in CAF before, but this one, she is looking at different locations and maybe indoor, maybe outdoor. So that's also another thing to consider. She does not have any venue secure, but it's possible if she hosts in the Greensfield Town Center Common.
Maybe I misread. I thought the spaces were.
When has she scheduled it though?
She does not have a plan yet when that, well, it's spring 2026, that's what she's saying, but no specific date because I think that's dependent on the venue.
So my issue with it, and I thought there were too many variables that were up in the air, and I also thought there was too much of a business focus. So I kind of echoing 2 of your concerns. That was my primary impression of the
And
application.
I also thought it sounded like, I mean, yeah.
Like
that
putting
and-
it out.
Promoting
And a
home
lot of,
business.
but also a lot of people. A lot of people. I just don't. 100 people. It just seems
The
like a lot.
feasibility was, yeah.
It's a cultural dance. I
Yeah.
feel like it's actually pretty popular cultural dance on TikTok, on like a lot of social media. I mean,
Yeah.
it's part
No,
of,
it'd be really
community
It would be
engagement.
really fun, but yeah.
Yeah, that's why should we really cut down the funding and let her try it, or should we just say no? I guess we could cast a vote.
Is she gonna hold it if she doesn't get our funding?
She said she's gonna pay out of pocket and host one session, but I guess that would be, if she doesn't get the funding, that'd be her decision to make.
All right, so let's call a vote. Paula Venkat, yes, maybe. That's a majority. All right, so Tracy, if you could
So-
get back to her, to get some more information and ask her to nail down some of those details before December 9th. I think that would help us to make our decision.
Okay.
Okay, thank you
Alright.
so much. All right.
All
back to-
right, the next one, Dennis Wise, it's a project we funded before, a anti-bullying presentation. Certainly it serves underserved community groups in needs, however, all the money he asked for goes to himself, $950 for one presentation. I feel like although this presentation serves students who might be bothered by bullying or underserved, this type of projects is better geared or supported by the school or the PA program rather than
Yeah.
us.
The arts, yeah.
I was, yeah.
I agree.
So I would say no, even if we funded him before.
Mhm.
Also, at his presentation last year, 1 student came.
Oh, that I did not know.
So
it was mostly
throw that in
parents?
there. It was all parents and 1 child.
Oh, my God.
So,
Okay.
is that a no for
I mean, I'm not
everybody?
against it being all parents.
Yeah, but it's not the arts.
No.
Oh, that doesn't matter. Humanities is still okay.
This is part of it.
Yeah, but impact. All right. Great job, Tracy. Hey, we're on the last one. Wendy, your last
Take us home, Wendy, take us home.
Let's do it.
Okay, I left my real notes at home, of course, but I do have some notes. Arlequin Players Theater. Their title is Beethoven. This is a theater in Needham. This presentation is only in Russian. It says that this presentation is only going to be for 40 guests. It's a performance, theatrical. They're charging $59 for a ticket. It is diverse because there is a lot of people in the area that do speak Russian. But I find it a little bit limiting I know that we funded them in the past. I don't know if the past performances were all in Russian. No? Okay, so this is my totally changing my score. So I don't know.
It said Powers Falls, do I have that right?
What? What did you say?
Is
The
that,
Powers
it's in
Hall?
Powers Hall? Is that correct? I thought I read.
No.
No?
It's at their theater in Needham. They have their,
Where's their theater?
No, I know. Maybe-
It's but I know where it is, and let's see if I can.
I don't know, but it's in Needham.
It is, it's on the corner of,
Or something.
Yeah.
It's on, hillside.
Some
right?
hillside avenue.
So it does have, you know,
It's near the
obviously
train station. yeah.
Needham-based individuals, it's cultural. It's got rave reviews, it's high quality. It benefits a certain part of the community.
Does, my neighbors across the street only.
Um, it has diverse voices, demonstrates community, but it's quite limiting because it's in Russian.
I feel like a broken.
So, you know, I changed my score, but I'm not sure. I think we have to vote on this one, because I really don't know.
All right.
What score would you
So
say?
I want to change it because it's.
It's limited.
I don't even know where to change it.
That's okay.
but-
I think let's not worry about the hard
Yeah.
numbers. I think probably it's the impression. So, does anyone want to put this up for discussion, or do you want to just do a vote?
Vote.
Okay, so, Arlequin Players Theater, yes. Maybe, no. That's a no.
I can't even vote on that one. It's just,
It's difficult.
it's hard to say
is.
no.
I know.
It's very hard. They're very good. But this is a very targeted.
We need to move on. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
the next
All right,
one is the-
Boston Annex.
The Boston Annex Players.
Hold on one second. Your cue.
Yes.
It's very.
I
know.
Supporter of the arts is great.
Well, I do have to tell you that. They reserve Powers Hall. And it's in kind through Wembley.
Oh.
So she supported this. This project is called The Soldier's Tale. It's instrumental, ensemble, dramatic narration, and dance. They're requesting $1,500. It's at Powers Hall. They're expecting about 200 people. Oh, no, I'm sorry, there are 200 people in this group. They tour local communities, they interact with the audience, although when I watched them on YouTube, there wasn't interaction with the audience, so I'm not sure about that. There's no cost to the public. They are asking for donations, and they do collabs with the opera company. So,
With the what company?
Boston Opera?
I think it's a local opera company. I didn't write it. I
okay,
wrote it in my
okay.
other notes, which I didn't bring. I gave it the high mark, so I gave it a 34.
What is the play again?
It's
Soldiers.
called The Soldier's Tale. It's instrumental and it's theatrical in music. It's like it lifts up, you know,
Dramatic.
very dramatic. And it's playful.
Tchaikovsky.
And it's
I thought,
Needham and it's free for
beautiful.
all Needham residents.
All right, so let's call the vote.
Oh, so are you saying?
So I
yes?
gave it a yes.
All right, are there any objections or concerns?
No.
All right, can someone grab Wendy? Thank you so much. All right, next.
The next one is the Boston Modern Quilt Guild. So I had never heard of them. I'm assuming this is new for us because there's another quilt.
The Quinn.
Yeah. The show is called The Quilts for Today. They're asking for $1,100. It runs in September. Powers Hall. They raise money, funds that are raised. Help charitable causes. They charge $10 each. Under 12 is free. They also have a community workshop where this is new for this year. They're gonna have a separate location for the workshop. And it'll show people how to do quilting. And again, all the money, they'll pick a specific cause and all the money will go to that cause. They have 80 members and they're all volunteers. I give this high marks.
I have a couple of questions. So is the other, the workshop, does that take place in Needham? And does that serve Needham residents?
Yes.
Okay. And the charity that they get behind, is that a Needham-based charity?
They don't know. I don't know the answer.
So they did show in 2024, but they didn't ask us money back. And I remember them frantically coming out to the harvest fair and saying, will you take some bookmarks to put on your table for us?
Oh.
So they seemed like that wasn't totally fulfilled. And I was working so hard at the harvest fair, I didn't even get to go, so it's kind of.
This year, you mean?
2024.
I think it's a new organization.
Maybe at Boston Modern Quilt. Needham, Mass, September 29th, 2024. And that's when they showed, because I
So it's a
remember
year old.
them, I remember it
Right.
being there. and
So
I
maybe
think,
they're
well,
just getting their footing.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I like the
Yeah.
fact that they're raising money for.
For charity, I think
Charity.
it's great.
yeah, that's good.
And they're new and up and coming.
The only thing I wonder about is that it's $10 to get in to a quilt show where people wouldn't want to pay $10 to get into a quilt show.
I went to the Quinn one last year, it was mobbed.
$10 isn't a lot these days.
Yeah,
And the other quilt show is 6 months later,
Yeah.
so they're opposite
Right.
sides of the year.
All right, so Wendy's recommendation is a yes. Any questions or concerns? All right, that's a yes. Last one, guys.
Woohoo,
Whoa.
That's Dedham Choral Society. The title is Instruments of Peace. And also Boston 250 celebration. So Instruments of Peace is going to be performed in December, which is next month. At the Church of the Holy Name in West Roxbury. And then they do another one in April when the Boston 250 celebration is going to be celebrated here in Boston. And that will be the theme for that presentation. They are charging tickets, even for kids. They're asking for $750. We funded them before. It's a wonderful choral group.
I think when we funded them, they performed in Needham.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, how many Needham residents
don't know
do
that-
they?
Yeah, so I did put a low score for that.
What's your overall score?
Yeah, 26.
Sorry.
Do we have people from Needham who sing in it? Or do we have?
that was why we've always,
I think we.
Right,
don't
but do we
know.
have people, I'd like to know how many people sing in it and. Cause if we don't have a lot, how does it serve Needham? If it's gonna be in West Roxbury?
Yep.
I think we in the past have supported them to the best of my memory because they have had members of Needham in the course, so we felt like, well, that is promoting arts for
I can
people
look
that live
further
here,
into
but
this.
Yeah.
but I think year
I
after
think
year,
we
I
should
don't
do a
think it's-
maybe.
Sorry, I'm sorry to cut everyone off. My personal feeling is that it's a choral society that's located out of Needham. They practice out of Needham and their concert is out of Needham. We have very limited funds this year. For me, that's a pass.
Okay.
But that's up for discussion. So I'm gonna bring it to a vote. Yes, for Dedham Choral. Maybe,
Still like to know how many Needham. residents.
no.
Okay, there we go.
All right, we did it. You should all. Everybody really excellent reviews, very thorough. Everyone did a wonderful job. Thank you so much.
for our timekeeper.
And thank you. Thank you for hanging in there.
No, it's
Yes.
really seriously, Abby, thank you, because.
Yeah, you're
your
welcome.
action could not have been more. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Caitlin loves this meeting because she just loves me for 2 hours. The next one.
Guys, there's one more little bit of business we need to do. I need to have a motion to dissolve the meeting. Can I get a motion to dissolve? All of you have a motion to dissolve. Can I get a second? Okay, the meeting is dissolved. Thank you so much for your time and your energy and your efforts.
Thank you.
Really, pat on the back. Good job. Go celebrate. Everyone hit the bars.
Yeah.